Our preseason home opener on the Rams Broadcasting Network is brought to you by Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Also brought to you by Ford and your quality Ford dealers. Brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers with 40 locations, always your best choice for quality and expert auto service. And by Bud Light M Music First. It's the sound of history being made. Here we go. And here we go as well at the Edward Jones Dome with Sam Bradford and the Rams getting set to make their home debut this summer in the preseason, and a good test tonight against the Green Bay Packers, a team that was 11-5 a year ago. More on them and more on the Rams coming up in a second. But first, down to the sideline, Martin Kilcoyne, Edward Jones making sense of investing. FaceTime.
Thank you, Andrew. Football is back, and so are the fans. The Rams beginning their 19th season here in St. Louis, and before kickoff, 90 selected season ticket holders able to walk across the field, shake hands, and get a jersey from the 90 Rams players currently on the roster. So a ceremonial first handshake to begin another NFL season here in St. Louis. Nice moment for the players as well as the fans. I'll be down here on the sidelines for you. We'll keep you up to date on all things. Also visit with some of the players throughout, and of course Coach Fisher checking in with us at halftime.
All right, Martin, thanks. Happy to have you down to the sideline with us last week and again here today. That is Jeff Fisher, 55 years old, 19th season as a head coach and second with the Rams, 149 career wins, 7 of which came last year in his first season. 4-1-1 against the NFC West. In the other corner, 49-year-old Mike McCarthy. Playoffs in 5 of his 7 seasons on the sideline with the Packers. Third best winning percentage among active coaches. That is minimum 50 games behind John Harbaugh, the man who won the Super Bowl last year, and behind Mike Smith, the man in Atlanta. Looking to see a little more tonight. We'll see a little of Aaron Rodgers. Certainly a little bit of an upgrade after watching Brandon Weeden play well, but this truly, Torrey, is a test because no one does it better than he does.
Nobody does it better than Aaron Rodgers. He gets the ball out of his hands quickly, and he runs this offense very efficiently, and then he has guys on the outside that can get open, makes themselves available, and then they got to run after the catch. Tough matchup tonight with the Rams versus Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, only one drive last week against Arizona, 11 plays, 86 yards. They turned the ball over in the red zone, turned it over on downs. Jonathan Franklin is the rookie running back out of UCLA. He is set to return this Greg Zuerlein kickoff. Let's see if Zuerlein will give him a shot at a return. If he doesn't want him to return it, often he doesn't let him return it. We'll see a lot of Franklin today. He carried the ball 6 times last week in that loss to Arizona at Lambeau Field. 4th-round pick, 125th overall. Greg Zuerlein kicked 2 50-yarders last week, a 54-yarder and a 55-yarder. We know what you call him, Greg the Leg or Legatron or Young Jeezy, as Marshall likes to call him. He gets the job done, and he does it here as well. Through the back of the end zone and a touchback to start things here, and the preseason home schedule at the Edward Jones Dome. Here comes Aaron Rodgers and these Green Bay Packers. As mentioned, few people do it better. Last week, Rodgers 3 for 5 and 62 yards. Led the NFL in rating last year, passer rating, second in touchdowns. He was your 2011 NFL MVP, but he does not have 2 of his key weapons today. He does not have Randall Cobb. He does not have Jordy Nelson. He does have James Jones, and he does have Jonathan Franklin, as mentioned in the backfield. Franklin, the rookie running back out of UCLA, gets the start. And he's going to get not the first carry. There's Rodgers on the play fake. He's going to dump it down. Rodgers goes complete to his tight end, Michael Finley, and he gets hit hard. He also picks up good yardage across the 30. Nice first down for Michael Finley. Time to take a look at tonight's Bud Light starting lineup. And our spotlight players to watch: Janoris Jenkins, Robert Quinn, and T.J. McDonald, the rookie who started last week at safety.
And T.J. McDonald is getting a lot of praise from this coaching staff. Jeff Fisher loves this young man.
All right, so 1 play and 1 first down. This is Eddie Lacy, the rookie out of Alabama. He breaks the tackle, hits Darian Stewart hard. That's a nice run, an 8-yard run to the 39-yard line for Eddie Lacy. All right, spotlight players here for the Green Bay Packers: Aaron Rodgers, David Bakhtiari, the rookie who's starting at tackle, Randall Cobb as well, but Randall Cobb is not going to play today. James Jones will be that number 1 wide receiver option after a double-digit touchdown season a year ago. Play fake and a throw over the middle. That's caught by Jermichael Finley. He's at the 40, hit hard, down across the 40 to the 37-yard line. Another first down for Green Bay.
And they've come out and said right away that they're going to get Jermichael Finley the football. Play action early to get it into his hands right here in the slot. Just works across the middle, finds the zone, and Aaron Rodgers puts it on him, and he does the rest. Takes a blow there by McDonald, but he continues on.
And it's again at 25. They're not huddling. Torrey, they are just calling this at the line of the play clock. Now it's 17. Lacey stays in there at tailback. This one's from the 37, and a new set of downs wide to the right. Number 11, Jarrett Boykin, but it's going to be Lacey running right. And Lacey is a bruising runner. He gets first down yardage across the 25 to the 22.
And the Green Bay Packers are going no huddle, which is not allowing the St. Louis Rams to make any substitutions. And this is exactly what they want out of the rookie Lacey. A physical, tough back that can get yards after contact, and he's showing it early thus far in this ball game.
This one's good for 15. Eddie Lacey, you see his numbers at Alabama. He was a national championship winning machine. 4 plays, 3 first downs. Here's a flag. Here's a throw towards the end zone. Incomplete. But again, flag on the play. Intended receiver, DJ Williams, third-year tight end.
And this is what happens.
Defense number 91, 5-yard penalty. First down, 5 yards to go.
Chris Long called for jumping off sides. Mike Carey's our ref.
This is exactly what happens when the defense starts to tie. You have offsides. You have to hold your water. And Green Bay, with the switch up, with the quick hurry up offense, I'm sure the Rams didn't practice this week, so it's a great adjustment by the Green Bay Packers. The Rams have to stay cool and make their adjustments as they go.
And they are now in the red zone, called the 17-yard line. Play clock at 15. Lacey still in the backfield. Rodgers will work from out of the shotgun. He's going to hand it off. There's Lacey. Not going to get much. Going to get to the 15, maybe a gain of 2. Gerald Rivers among those on the tackle.
And we talked about it earlier, Andrew, in the opening. Jeff Fisher talked about the Packers running the football. He wanted his defense to see more of the run game. This is what the Packers are doing. Rams are getting tested early.
Gerald Rivers, undrafted free agent out of Ole Miss, in early here for Jeff Fisher and this Rams defense. As we have a 2nd and 3rd from about the 15. Need to get it to the 12. Lacey again is the back, and Lacey again is going to get the carry. Looks like he's going to be about a yard short. You could hear the helmet collisions from up here. Laurinaitis and Rivers both there.
Nice stuff. And there was a lot of talks about Eddie Lacey coming out of the draft. Was he in shape? What type of conditioning is he in? He looks good thus far early on, Andrew, in this ball game, showing a lot of physicality, a lot of toughness, and that's something that the Green Bay Packers are going to need. They're going to need balance throughout the course of the regular season.
See if the Rams defense can get off the field here, Torrey. It's 3rd and 1. John Kuhn comes in now as they go I formation. He's the fullback. As Rodgers lets the play clock wind down. Here's Lacey trying to get around left side. He's got the first down, 10, flag down, and lassoed out at the 5. First down, Laurinaitis is there, but let's wait on the flag.
Maybe a holding there on the outside, maybe?
Right on the edge. That's where they threw it. See what Mike Carey has to say. Jermichael Finley looks like he doesn't like it. It's a hold.
Offense number 88, 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So there you have it, Jermichael Finley. That's how Lacey got to the outside, says Mike Carey.
But Lacey, look here, showing the ability to bounce the football. You know, he's known as a guy that's going to hit it downhill with his physical running style. Shows some agility there, bouncing outside there with a fantastic run.
And he held. Jermichael Finley did. Will Witherspoon of the starting lineup tonight as Jolon Dunbar. We got news of his impending 4-game suspension a little bit earlier this week, and the crowd gets loud yet again on 3rd and 11, Torrey.
That's a good pickup, bringing in a veteran Will Witherspoon into this offense.
Need to get to the 12 here. James Jones is wide right. Play clock down to 4. Rodgers trying to call out the play above the noise. He's going to throw it to Boykin left side. He's not going to get first down yardage. Dragged out of the 15. Cortland Finnegan is there. 4th down.
Good play by Finnegan. Way to close out and prevent them from getting that first down. Boykins, kid from Virginia Tech, had 2 receptions for 8 yards last week. Went to him there on a quick dart route. Pretty much a safe play there, wanting to get themselves in position to get 3 points here.
Boykin, one of 4 rookie free agent wide receivers able to make the opening day roster last year. This is a 34-yard kick for Mason Crosby, who did not have an attempt last week, I beg your pardon, but had trouble last year. He is good on his first kick of 2013. Green Bay drives right down the field, but the Rams defense makes a stand at the end. Field goal good. Aaron Rodgers, only one drive last week. His first drive this week, 8 plays, 64 yards, and a field goal. You can join the conversation here at the Edward Jones Dome on Twitter tonight. Use hashtag Rams. Your tweet might be seen up here in the booth. Torrey Holt, Andrew Siciliano. Tweet the Booth, presented by Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Would you say tweet? Tweet.
Good job right there by the Rams. Gave up a lot there. 8 plays, 64 yards. Gave up some big chunks, but was able to hold strong there defensively and just holding the 3.
Isaiah Pead not only starting at running back tonight, Isaiah Pead also is returning the kick here. Takes it about halfway deep, 10, 15. Pead out to the 19-yard line. The tackle by the wide receiver, Jeremy Ross. Here comes Sam Bradford and the Rams offense. Bradford last week, 5'8", a $102, a rating of 145, Torrey.
He looked good last week. He did a good job of staying in the pocket, sliding in the pocket, giving himself some lanes there where he could go. And right here, he showed the ability to hit Chris Givens there on a high pass in the back of the end zone. And prior to that play, he hit him on an Action 8. For a big game. Sam Bradford, outstanding start to the season.
And again, he has Pead in the backfield. His wide receivers to the right. He has Stedman Bailey, and he has Austin Pettis. And here's Pead. There's a good start for Isaiah Pead. He gets 10 yards and a first down. And again, Darrell Richardson not benched. You just want to see more of Pead, the second-round pick out of Cincinnati a year ago. Here is your Bud Light lineups and the spotlight player tonight. Jake Long at left tackle. We want to see more of Tavon Austin. We've already seen some of Isaiah Pead.
And hopefully we get a heavy dose of Isaiah Pead. He'll get plenty of opportunities tonight. He's off to a good start. Very decisive right there in that run. He got it, hit the hole, and just kept kicking.
Already gets 11 yards. As mentioned, 3 carries last week, 18 yards. He also had a key fumble, however, that led to points for Cleveland. They're going to keep it on the ground again. This one not nearly as productive. About 3 yards. Clay Matthews is in there. Give him maybe 2. Let's look at the Packers defense, Bud Light lineups here, and the spotlight players. I mentioned Clay Matthews had that tackle. Also good to see former Ram Ryan Pickett coming back home as well, and Nick Perry, the second-year linebacker out of USC. 2 USC linebackers here providing the pass rush. We mentioned earlier Clay Matthews, 42.5 sacks over the last 4 years.
And Matthews is the only guy right now that's getting pressure off the end for the Green Bay Packers. The question mark is Nick Perry. First round for this team, 2 sacks last year. Can he live up to the first round potential that they have for Nick Perry? He hasn't done it yet.
2 sacks in 6 games. Isaiah Pead takes a seat. Darrell Richardson, his first action. He's in the backfield, and Sam's going to throw that way. There's Richardson complete across midfield and dragged out of bounds at the 45-yard line by A.J. Hawk.
Outstanding play. I was at practice this week and had an opportunity to see a lot of plays and see a lot of things that they wanted to do against Green Bay. Right here you have a pick route by Chris Givens, just a whole Hawk, and then Richardson with the speed and the ability to get out and showcase his hands. And that's exactly what it looked like, Andrew, in practice. Darrell Richardson showing versatility. Yes, he can run the football in between the tackles. He can also bounce, but he also has hands out on the perimeter.
And you show the mismatch there. Sam saw the mismatch, and it's good for 24 yards. And it gets the Rams now just shy of the Packers' 43-yard line, and a new set of downs. Pead back in the game. He's going to run. Gets hit low. Gets maybe 2 yards. Sam shields the DB. Got him around the ankles.
There wasn't a huge pickup there, but what I did like, the Rams' offensive line came off that football and moved that Green Bay Packers defense back about 5 yards. That's the mentality that they want there on the front line. Obviously, Coach Fisher wants to run the football, and Coach Schottenheimer, as you see here on camera, they want to run the football, which sets up their play-action fake, but it starts with this offensive line moving the other team.
They said they want to stop the run. They want to be able to run the football today. Corey Harkey, the tight end, is in the backfield. He's in motion, and there's nowhere to go for Pead. Doesn't matter who's in motion. Micah Hyde, the DB, back there first to get him as Pead takes a seat, and the Rams lose around 5.
Well, I think Green Bay said, okay, enough is enough with the run, and this may have been some type of run blitz. here. No, actually the safety just came down and just made the play. May have been some missed assignments there in terms of blocking assignments, but a good play by Green Bay.
Micah Hyde getting the start, 5th round pick this year, as the Rams are without 2 of their top corners. Tremont Williams out of the game. That is a loss of 4. Williams didn't dress. 15 Packers didn't dress this week. Torrey, there were 17 who did not dress last week. This is now 3rd and 12. Rams got to get to the 34. Sam's going to dump it off. There's Tavon Austin, our first look at him. Didn't catch a ball last week. Here's his first one this week. He gets to the 38. He's about 4 yards shy of the first down, gaining 9.
Just something simple. Just sit him over in zone. Just get it to him quickly. As you see here, Wide comes over in zone. Here he sees it, sets down. Sam just gets it to him, and then he just gets vertically up the field. I would like to see him cut out some of that shiftiness and just go ahead and just plant his foot and get vertical. But a good job of getting him the ball and something real quick.
Hey, it's the preseason. Why not keep the offense on the field? On 4th down, the Rams will go for it. Have to get just shy of the 33-yard line. Officially, it's 4th and 3. Bradford out of the shotgun. Sam, look out. Throws over the middle. Caught shy of the first down. Tavon Austin at the 35. And now they rule it incomplete on the far side. The official on the near side said complete. Official on the far side said incomplete. There is a flag, however.
Illegal formation. Offense, only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. That penalty is declined. Turnover on downs. First down.
So the Rams get a couple of first downs, but then turn it over on downs after getting it across midfield. They trail here 3-0 after the Crosby field goal. We are early, first quarter in the preseason home opener. So the Rams go for it on 4th down. Why not? Do not convert. And they turn it over on down. 6:10 remaining first quarter. Rams trail the Packers here at the Edward Jones Dome 3-0. Fans, you can choose from 2 exciting 4-game flex plans starting as low as $180. That's it. For more information, go to stlouisrams.com or 314-RAMS-TICKS. As always, the telephone works. 314-RAMS-TICKS. So Aaron Rodgers puts together a field goal drive to start the game, and the Green Bay quarterback will stay in here for a second drive. Already one more than he worked last week in the Packers preseason opener at home against Arizona. He has Jonathan Franklin now, the running back out of UCLA in. He'll play fake, set up, throw to the boundary. That is Boykin with the catch. Boykin breaks one tackle from Tremaine Johnson, and he spins, and he gets across the 40 before Johnson finally recovers and gets him on the 38. It's a gain of 26.
Nice route out here on the outside by Boykin on Tremaine Johnson. You have a play action fake here by Aaron Rodgers. Get him out on a little slightly boot. And you got a double move out here on the outside by Boykins, a little stutter and go. And then the run out the catch, making Johnson miss for extra yardage.
Packers still not huddling, getting to Rams territory. Rodgers short drop throw to Jermichael Finley. That's a catch about a yard shy of the first down. They get across the 30 to around the 28.
And again, we talked about this in the opener. How can the Rams hold up with the Packers receivers and their tight ends? Aaron Rodgers, efficient with the football, knows where he wants to go with it, and these guys run excellent routes. Rams have no answer right now early on.
It's good for 9. It's second and officially a yard, more like second and inches. Play fake again, throw to the seam, incomplete. He wanted Finley.
Yeah, he just missed him. That's a throw right there. You see Aaron Rodgers in disgust there. That's a throw that he would make 9 times out of 10. I'm pretty sure these guys are hooked up on that play all the time in practice. He would love to have that throw back.
It's his first incompletion for Rodgers. He opens now 5 of 6 for 78 yards. And it also gives the Rams a chance for some substitutions here on defense. As it stopped the clock, the Packers were going no huddle. So here we have it, 3rd and inches. And again, it's an I formation as Kuhn now comes in as the fullback. Eddie Lacy in at tailback. That gives to Lacy.
Good
Lacy.
Good D.
Doesn't get it.
That's a good play right there. Rodney McLeod.
And William Hayes there as well.
Good play. Good penetration right there by Hayes. Hayes was able to get up the football field and kind of cause some distraction, some disruption there. 95 Hayes out of Winston-Salem State. And then McLeod comes down and finishes the rest. That's a good stance right there. Again, by the Rams, giving up chunks, Andrew, but holding themselves down here in the red zone and only allowing the Packers to go for 3.
Hayes into the backfield there, disrupt that, hit Kuhn, and out comes Mason Crosby. No, beg your pardon, not Mason Crosby. Here comes your second kicker, Tavecchio. This one's 47, and this one is no good. Wide left. Giorgio Tavecchio out of Cal, the lefty, no good. 3-0. Rams trail the Packers here at the Edward Jones Dome. 4:15 remaining first quarter. Torrey Holt, Andrew Siciliano, Martin Kilcoyne down to the sideline. Rams trail the Packers here 3-0. Mason Crosby hit a field goal on the Packers' first drive, and Green Bay's second kicker, Giorgio Tavecchio, the lefty, missed wide left on the second drive. So another chance here, Torrey, for Sam Bradford and this Rams offense. Brian Schottenheimer, I want to say, went into his bag of tricks by that little play. 24 yards for Daryl Richardson.
Nice
out
play.
of the backfield on that first possession. Moved the chains, got him across midfield. Let's see what they do here on the second possession from the 39-yard line. As A.J. Hawk shows blitz, Sam play fake to Isaiah Pete, and he's going to go deep. Given,
got him,
open,
got him,
caught it, down at the 5.
Good pickup, Isaiah Pete. To give Sam Bradford the time, again to hit Chris Givens, who is the Rams' #1 receiver right now, and showing his speed on an action 8. Same pass play that he called last week versus Cleveland. There's not a lot of guys, there's not a lot of corners in the National Football League that can run with Chris Givens. And he is just continuing to show he is the #1 receiver on this Rams offense, and a heck of a throw by Sam Bradford and a big pickup by Isaiah Pete.
And one of the biggest deep threats Chris Givens is in the National Football League. Last week 59, this week 57.
Face mask.
There's Pete, and there's a face mask.
Yes.
He's down to the 5, but the Rams are going to get a couple of yards on that, half the distance, and a new set of downs.
But I like the fact that they're taking their shots, and then they're also handing that thing off to Isaiah Pete, trying to give him an opportunity to showcase his abilities, coming off somewhat of a weak play last week versus Cleveland. He's playing really strong right now.
All right, so face mask there. Isaiah Pete, 4 carries, 10 yards. That one does not count. His long is 11. The Rams are now in the Dr. Pepper Red Zone. Red Zone brought to you by Dr. Pepper, always one of a kind. We mentioned getting some confidence for Isaiah Pete. There's a reason he's in there starting today. It's not that he has passed Daryl Richardson as the Rams' #1 back. Richardson still is that guy, but you need Isaiah Pete to make some plays.
Absolutely. And don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not picking on Isaiah Pete. He is a second-round draft pick, and what comes with that are high expectations. We have to see that, and we're seeing it.
Shotgun here for Bradford. He has Pete next to him on the left. Austin Pettis also on the left. You have Bailey and Austin, the 2 rookies to the right. Throw to the outside, over the head of Austin, and incomplete.
Nicely well-designed play there. On the outside, again, somewhat of a pick happening on the outside. You see here, you have Givens at the top, running a nice pick for Tavon Austin. Nice rub. Sam Bradford, you just got to get into it. This would have been this kid's first touchdown in the National Football League. Great way to get catches, and that would have been awesome for him to be able to get in the end zone.
Micah Hyde on the coverage there, so now it's 2nd down. And again, it's Pete in the backfield. Sam short drop, throw to the right, caught, not going to get in.
I guess they just say, maybe we can try it again. Green Bay.
Hyde sniffed it out this time.
He sniffed it out this time. Good job by Hyde. And Hyde was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. So Austin is going against a really good defensive back out here on the outside. But that's a really good job by Hyde by keeping this young man out of the end zone.
All right, they've spread it out here. What do you do, Torrey, on 3rd down?
I would look for your matchups. If there's a one-on-one opportunity, looks like it is here on the outside with Chris Givens and Devon House, number 31 for the Packers, and then you got AP matched up one-on-one on the outside too. I'll maybe take one of these fades.
Wide to the right. Let's see where Sam goes. He's going to hand it off. Pete puts his head down, pushes, not going to get there. Denied it around the 1.5. 4th down coming up.
And this was the thing with the St. Louis Rams last year, was the inability to put points on the board. Defense handles their business. They go with a quick draw right here to Isaiah Pete. Packers did a good job of staying home and sniffing it out and holding him out of there. But when they're in these situations, they have to put points up on the board. The defense is taking care of their business. The Ram has to put points. Not 3 are good. 3 is good, but 7 is better.
Well, they're going to go for it, and they bring in 3 tight ends. 3 tight ends. Corey Harkey is the fullback, and then here you have McNeil in motion. Fumble. Ball's out of the 2.
Are you kidding me?
Green Bay ball. Rams turned it over on downs. First possession this time, a 4th down fumble inside the 2. (3-0). Packers on top of the Rams. They're denied inside the 5. Back to the Edward Jones Dome after this. You have to like the Rams being aggressive here. They've gone for it twice on 4th down, and twice now they've turned it over on downs. Harvey Daltori officially recovered this fumble, but it was 4th down.
Yeah, Sam Bradford got out from underneath the center too fast, and I think lost control of that football. Right there, you're in a scoring situation. Hang in there, get the snap, get the exchange, hand it off to the back. Just got out of there too fast.
Brian Schottenheimer, Jeff Fisher keeping the offense on the field. Twice officially now they have turned it over on downs. Green Bay did not recover that fumble, and it's 3-0 here. Rams trail at the Edward Jones Dome as the defense, first team defense, still in there with 1:23 remaining in the first quarter, asking this crowd to get loud. And Aaron Rodgers will stay in there for his now 3rd drive. He has the powerful Eddie Lacy behind him, the rookie. 5 carries and 24 yards. And it's going to be Lacy again. Not much room to run, but the Packers just need a couple of yards to breathe here as they were backed up all the way back on their own 2. Will Witherspoon, the veteran linebacker there after the short game.
Really good defense there, way to stand strong. And you mentioned Will Witherspoon. It's good to have him back here in St. Louis. We all know what happened with Dunbar last week, but it's good to have a veteran guy come in, and that's a productive football player. Have him come in and step in, and they don't skip a beat.
And let's face it, the Rams knew when they signed Will Witherspoon that Jolon Dunbar would likely be facing that suspension, so they went out and got him as insurance. Now let's call this the inverted wishbone. What do you say? You have Kuhn, Williams, and Lacy in the backfield, but it's going to be James Jones. And it's over his head, incomplete. Finnegan on the coverage.
That's a catch that James Jones has to make. I've seen him make more difficult catches than that. Good ball by Rodgers there. Just a quick post off the play action here. Looked like a little pistol play action fake. A little high, but as receivers in the National Football League, that's what we get paid to do, to catch footballs, make the quarterback look good.
James Jones led the NFL last year with 14 touchdown catches. He couldn't hang on to that one, and now it's a 3rd and 7. And Aaron Rodgers will work out of the shotgun standing inside the 1-yard line. Lacy next to him as this crowd gets loud. Need to get to the 12-yard line, and Rodgers, with the play clock winding down, tries to call timeout. Let's see if they're going to give it to him. Flag came out. Delay a game or timeout?
I think Chris Long jumped there maybe.
But he was going to call timeout.
Before the timeout, neutral zone infraction.
Wow.
Defense number 91. 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
Now, did Chris Long jump because he saw Rodgers turn to call timeout? He thought he was waiting. Nope, he jumped before.
He jumped. Yeah, he jumped.
Rodgers tried to call timeout.
Trying to get a jump there on number 67.
That'll be Don Barclay, 67.
Don Barclay. Thank you very much.
Second-year man out of West Virginia in the starting lineup with that.
Who plays guard and also plays tackle.
Exactly, with the O-line banged up. All right, now it's 3rd and 2. Shorter field. Throw, James Jones, 1st down. The penalty, shorter field. James Jones gets inside Trumaine Johnson.
Well, they don't have Randall Cobb tonight. They don't have Jordy Nelson, so James Jones is their guy's going to get plenty of work. Did a good job right here of beating Trumaine Johnson on the outside for the 1st down. The Rams have to continue to do a better job of stopping these plays so they can get off the field on 3rd downs. That's something that we talked about earlier. They got to continue to do a better job of getting off the field on 3rd downs.
Aaron Rodgers 6 of 8 for 85 yards with that completion. Green Bay 1 of 3 on 3rd downs. The Rams 0 for 2. The score 3-0. They're walking to the other side. 1 quarter done. Rams trailing by a field goal. Rampage is liking it. just relaxing. Why not? Along with Torrey Holt. I'm Andrew Siciliano. 3-0 is the score. The Rams trail the Packers after 1 quarter of football. 2 offensive drives for the Rams. They both end with a turnover on downs. One of them across midfield, the other one inside the 5-yard line. There's Aaron Rodgers. He is back for his 3rd series for the Packers. Just picked up a first down with a completion to James Jones after Chris Long had jumped offside and made it a far easier completion. 1 for 3 for the Packers on 3rd down. Rodgers has thrown for 85 yards. Green Bay came out running a no huddle offense, kept the Rams defense on its heels. This drive started inside the 2, Torrey, after that fumble by Bradford on the exchange with Scott Wells on 4th down.
And I like the changeup by Green Bay, forcing the issue. Let's not go back to the huddle. Let's just line up at the line of scrimmage and let's just play football. And it's good for the Rams to get those types of reps. This is a good time to get yourself ready for regular season, to see these types of looks. I like the changeup again by the Packers.
And that fast-paced offense helping keep Aaron Rodgers on his feet. Sacked an NFL high 87 times the last 2 seasons, 51 times last year. But the Rams have not been able to get close to him as they're picking up the pace. Jermichael Finley is in motion. He sets up now tight to the left. That's Eddie Lacy, the back, the rookie out of Alabama. Play clock at 5. Rodgers might have called an audible. He's going to play fake it and then dump it off to Lacy. Lacy makes one man miss. Wow, Eddie Lacy is impressive in his first game action. Gets around 10 and looks like a first down.
Eddie Lacy is looking every bit of advertised. Showing some nifty feet on the outside. Ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, something that he's going to have to do on this level. And he showed that when he was at Alabama. But showing some really good footwork and power.
And second missed tackle there for Tremaine Johnson. 1 after a completion. This one trying to come up on support after Lacy took the little swing pass. Now Lacy's going to run. Rams clog up that line. Lacy gets around 3. Tonight's Rams injury report brought to you by Washington University Orthopedics and Barnes Jewish Hospital, team physician for the St. Louis Rams. We talked in the pregame, Torrey, about Roger Saffold. The good news is he should be back for week number 1. And that's the key injury. Zach Stacy also not dressing tonight. The running back out of Vanderbilt looked good last week. He, though, is a scratch this week. Didn't practice much in Earth City. The play fake and then the catch. That's Jermichael Finley across midfield, 40-yard line. He goes through Janoris Jenkins and then out of bounds on the 37.
Another quick hitting pass. Aaron Rodgers getting the ball out of his hands quickly to Jermichael Finley, who no one is over him.
They bought.
How many catches has he had already?
That one's good for 32.
Is anybody going to cover Jermichael Finley tonight?
That's his 4th of the night. And it puts them, the Packers, on the 37-yard line. New set of downs, leading the Rams 3-0. Lacy's going to stay in the backfield. 4 catches, 78 yards now for Jermichael Finley. Big hole, Eddie Lacy across the 30. And close to another first down. Give him 10. Time to check in now on the conversation on Twitter. You mentioned Twitter before, right, Torrey?
Yes.
Tweet the Booth, brought to you by Edward Jones, making sense of investing. So we read the tweets on the screen. Know that you too can join into the conversation. Tweet the Booth, hashtag Rams. Someone tweeting, how can the Rams stop Eddie Lacy? He's putting up big numbers so far. And it's going to be not Lacy instead of place fake. That's Ross on the outside. This time Ross is going to get wrapped up by Finnegan. Maybe half a yard on that. Let's give him 1. Good job, Cortland Finnegan.
Yeah, really good job by Cortland Finnegan. Very scrappy, tough football player there on the outside. He plays out on the perimeter. He also can move in and slide through your nickel guy. Really good play there. Aaron Rodgers in this group is just taking what the Rams are giving him, and he's getting the ball out of his hands rather quickly.
And still not huddling. 8 carries, 40 yards for Lacy. Rodgers, though, throws to the boundary. This one's caught. That's James Jones near the 20-yard line. Not going to be enough for a first down. Going to bring up a 3rd and 5. Tremaine Johnson's there.
Here we go, a 3rd and 5 situation. Good tackle by Tremaine Johnson there on the outside.
This time he wrapped up?
This time he wrapped up and got him down. Here we are, 3rd and 5. Can the Rams hold him here and get off on 3rd down?
And they go no huddle. Lacy stays in the backfield. Jermichael Finley's the tight end, tight to the left. Next to David Bakhtiari, the rookie left tackle here for Aaron Rodgers. Play clock is at 15. Boykin to the left. Ross, slot left. Jones on the right. Green Bay's keeping the foot on the gas, leading here 3-0. Second quarter, Rodgers plants at the 30 under pressure.
There he is.
Robert Quinn brings him down.
And Robert Quinn versus David Bakhtiari, the rookie out of Colorado. And Quinn clearly beats him right here on a quick inside move, as you see here, showing his speed and his power. This is what the Rams need from Quinn as well as Long to slow down some of this offense that the Green Bay Packers have early on in this game.
Robert Quinn last year, second in sacks with 10.5. Mason Crosby is now back on for the field goal try after sitting out the second attempt. He was good earlier to make it 3-0. He is good again, this time from 48 yards to make it 6-0. 11:02 remaining. Rams defense gets off the field on third down, but gives up a field goal. Rampage, 6-0. There's the Rams defense. Robert Quinn's in there somewhere. He had a key sack on third down to kill that last Packers drive and force Mason Crosby out for a 48-yard field goal. But the Rams do trail here 6-0, 11:02 remaining in the second quarter. That's an 8-play, 53-yard drive capped off by Mason Crosby. That is not Mason Crosby. That is Green Bay's second kicker, Giorgio Tavecchio, the lefty out of Cal, who is 0 for 1 today on field goal tries, or it would be 9-0. Crosby had a rough year last year for Green Bay, 21 of 33, only 64%. A couple of years ago, this guy was automatic. Some people think he might be fighting for his job. There is Isaiah Pete as we wait to get back to action. Pete has looked pretty good so far. He had an 11-yard run. Looked good early, Torrey. Hasn't had much room to run since there. 6 carries, 11 yards. And there is Mike McCarthy, your Green Bay head coach, as we await the kick here in the second quarter of the Edward Jones Dome. Martin Kilcoyne down to the sideline. Torrey Hold'em, Andrew Siciliano. Thanks so much for being with us here today. Week 2 of the preseason. The home opener for the Rams. Good to be back home,
yes,
certainly.
It is, man. A lot of memories from this dome, man. It's really good to be back home.
Marshall Faulk gets the week off. We will see Marshall next time we're at home. Here's Isaiah Pete, takes it on the run, and he goes nowhere. Gets out to the 12. Robert Francois is down there. All right, Rams back on offense. Sam Bradford's coming back on offense. Coming up next. Rams trailing 6-0 second quarter. Come join the excitement as the Rams kick off the 2013 season at the Edward Jones Dome Sunday, September 8, when they host Carson Palmer and the Cardinals. All fans in attendance get a Rams rally towel. StLouisRams.com or 314-RAMS-TICKS to get in the building and see your St. Louis Rams, who now have it around the 14-yard line. A little play fake to Isaiah Pete. Sam steps away from the Clay Matthews sack, and he runs. Running to the outside, gets around 5 yards, run out of bounds, just shy of the 20.
Good coverage on the back end, and I really like what Sam Bradford did there. He checked all of his reads, stepped up in the pocket, protected the football. Nothing's there. Then he takes off play action there. He looks, scans one, stays on one actually. Then he takes off, nothing there. Billy, good job of getting out of bounds. Didn't force the play there. I can live with that. Didn't force the play, live the play another down. That's really good ball management there by Sam Bradford.
Matthews got around left tackle Jake Long. So the Rams get 5 out of it. It's 2nd and 5. Need to get to the 23 for a first down. They're going to hand it off. That's Isaiah Pede. He's going to get across the 20, maybe a gain of 2. Nick Perry, the second-year linebacker out of USC with the tackle.
Nice run. Really, real nice and quick with the cut, and then just get vertical. Good play by Nick Perry. They're closing down. They're on the line of scrimmage, and the Packers need Nick Perry to step up. First-round draft pick. Other than Clay Matthews, there's no one else who's getting pressured really on the quarterback, and they want Nick Perry. They need Nick Perry to fill that void.
Rams 0 for 2 on third down. Let's see what they can do here. This one officially a 3rd and 3. Jared Cook is lined up slot to the right for Bradford. You have to call Jared Cook's name.
A little pressure there off the nickel.
Here's Sam.
Good pickup.
Looks to the left.
Nice
throws. Complete. Incomplete. Gibbons couldn't hang on as he went to the floor. Damon House with the coverage. And now some John there with Isaiah Pete in the backfield, 4th down.
Got to come up with that catch. Chris Gibbons, you have a nice long action post for a catch, and you come back one-on-one versus Devon House. Good job of just got to catch. Nothing wrong with that. A little holding there about Devon House. Not too bad on the route. Just got to catch the football.
Put it right up on his right shoulder.
Couldn't
hang on. Jeremy Ross back to return this Johnny Hecker punt. for the Rams. He gets it away. A little more hang time than we saw last week in Cleveland. Here's Ross at the 25. Ross across the 30, and he gets drilled.
Nice play.
Ross taken down by Quentin Pointer.
Huge hit. Better teams there than last week.
Certainly better coverage.
Better coverage.
On special teams, something the Rams are looking at. Defense coming back on the field down 6-0, 9:33 in the second. Jeff Fisher's Rams here trailing 6-0, 9:33 remaining. Second quarter here at the Edward Jones Dome. Torrey Holt, Martin Kilcoyne down to the sideline. I'm Andrew Siciliano. Thanks so much for being with us. Spending part of your Saturday evening with us here as Aaron Rodgers' night is done. 10-12 for 134 yards. And he is replaced now by Graham Harrell out of Texas Tech. Graham Harrell 12-19, a couple of sacks and a 49 rating in the preseason opener last week at Lambeau Field. Quarterback coach Ben McAdoo said he had some glaring errors, so calling him out. We'll see Vince Young, we expect, a little bit later today. Harrell is certainly battling for that number 2 position. Here he throws. This one's hooked up in the air, and it is picked off.
Oh, get that flag out of here.
It's picked off with a flag down by Rodney McLeod. It looked like Rodney McLeod came up with it.
McLeod stepping up and making some plays. Had a nice play on the run early on, and he comes out here with an interception closing in on the ball.
Mike Carey. Offense and defense staying on the field.
Pass interference. Defense number 11. In spot of the foul, automatic. First down.
Well, there is no defense number 11. Tavon Austin was not in. He is versatile. Yeah, he was not Tavon Austin. However, take a look.
Oh, he must felt he got to the ball, got to the defender, to the receiver too early. I don't know about that. That's close. That's a close call.
Tremaine Johnson over the back. They're going to wipe off the interception, and now here's Harrell to throw, and he's going to go deep over the middle, and that is incomplete, in and out of the hands of Williams, who had it up the seam. Josh Hull on the coverage.
Really good coverage by Hall. Good throw by Harrell.
They've attacked the seam a couple of times.
Yes, they have. Just look like verticals on the outside, and then you got a guy, the middle linebacker, running with a tight end down the seams.
Got to catch that ball.
Got to catch that ball there by the tight end. But an outstanding job of Hall staying with the play.
All right, so it's a second down, 9:20 remaining. That's Jonathan Franklin. He's going to stand in the backfield. Eddie Lacy, his night could be done. 8 carries and 40 yards. The other rookie's going to carry it. And the other rookie really has nowhere to run as William Hayes stands him up, maybe a gain of a yard.
Hayes doing a good job thus far with his penetration. And tackled there by Jolon Dunbar, who's a tackling machine. Hayes closing down from the outside. The Rams getting penetration up the front to slow that run down, and then the guys are just finishing up on the tackle.
As Dunbar goes to the sideline. See what the Rams do now. 3rd and 8. Green Bay is 1 of 4 so far on 3rd down conversions. Need to get it across midfield. Need to get to the 49 of the Rams for a first down. Graham Harrell out of the shotgun. Has time. Throws. Complete. First down yardage. Across midfield. Brandon Bostic, the tight end.
Cover 2. Good play. Cover 2 there, and he just set right beyond the sticks. The Rams are in cover 2 here, which is zone coverage. And he just goes down and sets right there beyond the sticks. Good throw by Harrell for the first down.
Josh Hull up to make the tackle. They keep it no huddle. They keep it here with the rookie running back, Jonathan Franklin. He's going to get around 4 to the 42-yard line. So even here, Torrey, with the second string offense, Green Bay keeps it with the no huddle.
Yeah, because you want to see, because everybody has to run, be able to run the two-minute drill, or not the 2-minute drill, but the no huddle. You never know when you're going to be in there each Sunday. This is really good. They're all extra conditioning as well. But they're very efficient with this style of offense.
Got rookies on the field. Miles White, wide receiver to the left. That's a rookie over the head of Franklin, and incomplete.
Try to come out with a little quick slip screen there to Franklin. Let him get in his hands and show some of that running ability. Over the head though. Harrell's got to get it down to him.
Harrell 1 for 3, 13 yards, and again it's a 3rd down. This time need to make it to the Rams' 35-yard line for the new set of downs. Clock at 7:45.
3rd down again.
See what they do. There's Alec Ogletree in the middle of that Rams defense, the rookie out of Georgia. The Officially, it's a third
Hall up the
and
middle.
6. Harrell flushed out. He's going to throw to the sideline. Incomplete. He was almost out of the tackle box. He threw incomplete to number 83, wide receiver, or rather tight end, Tyrone Walker.
I like the change up there by the Rams. They brought a little pressure there. Hall straight down the middle of the football field with Ogletree. Looked like he was coming in on a twist. And that's good. Get Harrell off of his turf. Don't allow him to get comfortable. And a good coverage out here by the Rams. Jermaine Johnson, a little bit too physical there on the outside, I think, a little bit at times, but really good coverage. And good job of closing in and not allow that receiver to catch the ball.
All right,
good
Tavon Austin back to return the Mastay punt. Let's see if he gets a chance. He's going to wave it off and let it bounce at the 6. That's going to go into the end zone for the touchback. Still haven't seen Tavon Austin yet, Torrey, return a punt. Maybe one of these days. 6-0. Rams trail the Packers 7:30, second quarter. 7:29 remaining, second quarter. Jeff Fisher, Chuck Cecil, and the Rams trailing here 6-0. And it looks as if Sam Bradford and the first team offense can stay in here, Torrey, for a fourth drive.
Good. That's absolutely fantastic. They need to be in there. They need more reps. Coach Fisher, I know he's got to be thinking this, and Coach Shoddy. We need 7 points by our ones. That's why they're still in the ball game. Let's see if they can come down right here and put 7 points on the scoreboard.
Touchdowns, not field goals. Rams have had neither today, as they're going to start just shy of their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10. Sam yells kill, calls an audible, works under center, and he has Isaiah Peed behind him in the backfield. Sam is going to take a shot deep. Left side. Tavon Austin, incomplete. Speaking of Tavon, let's take a look at the Rams rookie crop, Torrey. Tonight's rookie spotlight is brought to you by Monsanto. We did have Tavon Austin's first catch. He also had one he could not bring down.
Yeah, he's an incredible athlete. Great speed, really good quickness, can make people miss. We still are waiting to see it here in the National Football League versus real competition. Had an opportunity there. They went deep to him there on the left far side there on the streak route. Wasn't a lot of continuity there, looked like to me, on that particular play.
Well, now Tavon is bunched to the right there, and Jared Cook is actually wide to the right, but Sam's going to look to the left and throw complete. There's Peed. He makes one-man miss. Isaiah Peed, 25-yard line. Right. Isaiah Peed near the first down at the 30. He does have a first down.
Nice run. Get it to him. Get the ball to him out of the backfield. Get it in his hands. He has this ability to catch out of the backfield. Just a nice, simple flare route. Get it to him quickly, and now it's on you, Isaiah, to make people miss. Show that ability. I watched him at the Senior Bowl. This is when I fell in love with Isaiah P. too.
MVP of the Senior Bowl.
MVP of the Senior Bowl, had an outstanding Senior Bowl, did it all at the Senior Bowl.
Made Desmond Moses miss there, made a linebacker miss. You got to make a linebacker miss in space. Here's Pete trying to get around the right side, nowhere to run there, and he's going to get ridden out of bounds and lassoed down to the 24-yard line. Jaron McMillan leading the charge.
And I know it's easier said than done, but I would like to see him, if he bounces to the outside and is not there, just plant that right leg and just get vertical, just try to get any kind of positive yards. As soon as you start to stretch it out that way, the guys in this league are too fast. That's not going to happen.
And there are too many of them there, too.
Too many.
As he's trying to get around the right side. The result is not as bad as it could have been. It's only a loss of 1. So the Rams are back on the 29, need to make the 40 for a first down as we're coming up on 6 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. That's Corey Harkey, the tight end in motion. Jared Cook also on the right side. Play fake to Pete. Blitz picked up. Sam throws complete. There he is, Jared Cook, and he's on the move at midfield. Near side 45-40. Stiff arm and out of bounds at the 34.
And he crushes the guy with the mic. He
the parabolic operator. Gain of 37.
You got to get out of the way of this big man coming at you. But good job by Jared Cook finding a way to get open. And I talked about his catching radius. You can put the ball anywhere in this guy's area code, and he comes up with catches. And then he shows that 4.4 speed, big guy. This is going to be one of Sam Bradford's favorite weapons, too, as they continue through the preseason on in the regular season.
Jared Cook, a 5-year, $35 million contract signed in the offseason. Rams struck quickly to get him in free agency. Here's Darrell Richardson. He checks into the game, and he gets around right end. There's the speed, but a flag comes in from the defensive backfield.
Holding on, looks like it may be holding on Tavon Austin out here on the outside. See if that's the call.
Mike Carey.
I like the little man scrapping it.
Offense number 11, 10-yard penalty.
Yeah.
Still first down.
All right, good eye.
I like the fact that he's getting in there and he's starting up and he's trying to block. Just got caught with a hole there. It's a fine line with that holding on the outside. I've been on the other end of some of those holes. Yeah, he just
a little bit of a shove.
Just a little shove, but a little grab there too. I think they're real slick. The refs called.
Tavon listed 5'8", 176. Not exactly a prototype blocker at wide receiver.
But I like the fact that they got him in the slot and they also have him on the outside as well, Drew.
Rams 6 penalties last week, already 4 this week. Need to make it out of the 24-yard line. They will run. P tries to make something out of nothing, and in reality, it's nothing. C.J. Wilson there in the middle of that Green Bay defense.
Yeah, Green Bay is being real stingy right now in the run game. But I like the fact that the Rams are still continuing to try to run the ball.
Rams fans, don't wait. Get your season tickets now. Secure the best seats available at the lowest prices. 2013 Rams season tickets are on sale starting at only $30 per game. That's at $30 per game. For more info, go to stlouisrams.com. All right, here we go. 2nd and long. Officially, it's 2nd and 18. The Rams get it across midfield on the Jared Cook catch and run, and now back up to the 42. That is Heed still in there after Richardson got a quick taste. Play fake. Sam got over the middle. Incomplete.
I'm really enjoying this matchup right now with Mekhi Hyde and Tavon Austin. Another outstanding play there by Hyde.
Just couldn't hang on.
Just couldn't hang on, Austin. They just couldn't hang on.
And now the Rams face a 3rd and 18.
And with his speed and his quickness, I would like to see a little bit more separation, Austin, there between Hyde to make that lane and that ball a little clearer to be able to catch.
Rams have yet to convert a 3rd down, Torrey. They're 0 for 3. Sam's going to dump it down. Richardson has some room. 35, dancing, pushing across the 30. He is not going to get to the 24. Is that ball out?
Oh, I'm sorry.
We got whistles. Don't think that ball's out. But it's going to be 4th down now. Previously on 4th down, they've kept the offense on the field. This is going to be 4th and around 2 or 3. Let's call it 4th and maybe a long 3, maybe 4th and 4.
5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Actually, illegal formation, back them up.
That's the 2nd penalty for the Rams. Legal formation or a false start in there at the offense at the line of scrimmage. There's a communication, maybe a communication breakdown here for some of these penalties that's going on offensively.
5th penalty for the Rams. One thing they didn't want tonight. Wanted to cut down on the penalties pre-snap or otherwise.
And Coach Fisher was very adamant about that when we spoke to him on Friday.
Ryan Quick into the game now for the Rams. He's wide to the right. Sam wants to throw deep. Instead, throws over the middle. It's caught. Not going to be enough for a 1st down. 32-yard line. Tavon Austin.
Good catch. They played zone. There he is there, uncovered, just settling there in the zone. Sam finds him, and then he tries to run after the catch, but there's a lot of Packers back there that's running. These guys can run in the National Football League, and I think Tavon is getting the opportunity to see that. And we've seen him run away from guys when he was in college. I don't know if he'll be able to do that all the time in the pros. He will be able to do it, but it's tough here in this league.
Greg Zuerlein, 54 and 55 yards last week. This is a 50-yard try, and it's no good. He pushed it wide to the right, had the distance, but not the accuracy. So the Rams still shut out off the scoreboard. 3:01 remaining. 2nd quarter, trailing 6-0. Another Rams drive stalls on offense. This time Greg Zuerlein misses wide right from 50 yards, and Jeff Fisher's team getting shut out here in the 2nd quarter. The Edward Jones Dome. 3:01 remaining, trailing 6-0. Green Bay takes over an offense on its own 40-yard line. 2nd drive here for Graham Harrell. And he's going to work out of the shotgun. And he's going to hand it off. That's Jonathan Franklin, who gets to the outside. Breaks a couple of tackles and gets just shy of the 45-44. Time to take you now inside the huddle, brought to you by Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Inside the huddle is where the fan gets to ask Torrey a question. Take a listen.
My My name is Betsy Bailey, and I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. My question is for Torrey Holt. What was your most memorable catch as a St. Louis Ram?
And we'll answer that in a couple of seconds as Harrell scrambles, had nowhere to throw it. He gets across midfield, and he gets a first down. Torrey?
Most memorable catch would have to be my rookie year in the Super Bowl. The Titans decided that they wanted to bring a free safety blitz. I was able to run a quick slant. Kirk put it on me, and I caught it right on my face mask for the touchdown that put us ahead. But that was my most memorable catch.
Iconic image, you there with the ball, face mask. Complete. Graham Harrell across the 40-yard line. And again, it's the tight end, the big guy, Bostic, with the catch. He gets around 8, 2 yards shy of the first down.
I like what the Packers are doing in terms of getting the football to their tight ends. Their tight ends look really good. Finley got off to a great start, and 86.
Bostic as well there.
Is continuing the flow
with a couple of catches for 21 yards, and Finley has 4 for 78. 2-minute warning here. Second quarter, Rams trailing 6-0. 2-minute warning time here at the Edward Jones Dome. The Rams have kept the Packers out of the end zone, but they've been unable to get in the end zone, nor for that matter through the uprights. Greg Zuerlein missing wide right from 50. There's Mike McCarthy. He's got Graham Harrell in there.
This is good for both teams, Andrew. 2-minute warning. They can work on their 2-minute drive. It's one thing to work on it in practice, and both teams do that. But it's different when you're out here in the game situations when a lot of bullets are going. So both coaches on both sides want to see this 2-minute period.
Graham Harrell 2 for 5, 21 yards. Aaron Rodgers, you saw him on the sideline. His night is done 10 of 12 for a 134. Play fake to Franklin. Wants to go to the tight end. Going to have to eat it with Rivers chasing him out of bounds. They say he stayed in bounds, and that clock is going to keep winding down to 1:45 and moving.
Good job by the Rams. The Packers ran that play earlier. They hit Jermichael Finley on a big game. They were able to make the adjustments and hold them right there and push Graham Harrell out of bounds.
He doesn't get the first down, about a yard shy. 3rd and 1, have to get to the 36. Green Bay still with 3 timeouts. Rams have all 3 of theirs as well. Clock at 1:24 at the snap. Harrell throws incomplete. He's going to stop the clock. 4th down. He wanted Tyrone Walker.
A little low. Good coverage. Nice competitive play there. Got man up right here. Just run a little quick double slants on the inside. 10 takes 2. Number 10, Ross takes 2. And then you got one-on-one on the outside, just a drop ball.
All right, 4th and 1. See what the Jeff Fisher defense does, because Mike McCarthy's keeping his offense on the field. Need to get to the 36-yard line. It's 4th and not even 1. Harrell low snap. Harrell under pressure. Flushed out to the right. He may run. He's gotten the first down, but 2 flags come down behind the play as Harrell gets to the 34.
Maybe an illegal block here, Andrew, by Packers O-line. On Hayes.
And again, 2 flags came out behind the play. Let's see what Mike Carey says.
Personal foul, peel back block against the offense number 65.
Yep.
15-yard penalty, still 4th down.
And that's Lane Taylor, the rookie guard.
Absolutely.
You saw it, Torrey.
Yeah, you'll sit here. Harrell's working to get outside the pocket.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
That's very dangerous. Those types of blocks right there have ended players' careers. It's a good thing that he saw that and threw the flag. That's what they're trying to take out of our game.
Went low on Mason Brodine.
That's exactly what they're trying to take out of our game.
And it's going to bring out the punt team. Not going to go for this one. They're going to bring out Tom Mastay. Tavon Austin back to return. Torrey, he has yet to return one. Let's see what he does. See if he gets a chance. Austin works to his right, waits for it, fields at the 6.
Okay.
Dances.
Okay.
Makes one man miss. Now he's going backwards. That didn't work.
And again, I just popped up with my my 7-Up and then went
You made a soda explode in the booth. That was the noise there.
But the dancing.
Got to get upfield.
And I get it, and I know you're quick and you can make people miss. And I love this by Tavon Austin, but in this league,
well, should he field it inside the 10 to begin with?
No, but he's anxious to get the ball in his hands. He wants to get the ball in his hands. that's the problem one. He wants to get it in his hands. And then Jared Bush is an outstanding special teams player. You got to get the ball, make one move, and go in this league.
All right, Kellen Clemens is in now at quarterback for the Rams. Sam Bradford's day is done. Sam 8-12, 156. Kellen Clemens is going to get this second look today at quarterback. Austin Davis was the second quarterback last week. First guy off the bench in place of Bradford in Cleveland. They're going to switch that around this week. Knocked down, almost picked off, intended receiver there, Bailey.
That's not how you want to start, Clemens.
Kellen Clemens last week, 6 of 13, 116, a touchdown, and a couple of interceptions. McMillan got a hand on it.
McMillan is just sitting out there in zone. I don't know if Clemens didn't see. Well, it was obvious he didn't see him. It was almost an interception. Veteran play, he knows better than that.
We got Benny Cunningham in the backfield here for the Rams. The rookie free agent out of Middle Tennessee State. And the Rams stay conservative, and they go nowhere. Cunningham, maybe the line of scrimmage. I think he lost a yard.
The Green Bay Packers have made their mind up in this second quarter that they're going to dominate their line of scrimmage. The Rams haven't been able to do too much in the run game this second quarter, and it has a large part to do with what the Green Bay Packers front is doing against the Rams front.
Andy Malumba there, Johnny Jolly on the tackle, and now St. Louis facing a 3rd and 12. Packers going to call timeout. There's Dom Capers, the Packers D coordinator. If the Rams are going to stay conservative, then they're going to call timeout with 51 seconds left.
This is good coaching that's going on. The way the Packers defense is playing right now, they feel confident that they can get a stop here, get the ball back, get good field position on a punt, and the way they've been driving the ball a little there with the no huddle offensively, they feel like they may be able to get in position for a field goal and have some points before they go in the half.
Well, look, this drive started on the 6th. That completion, rather incompletion on first down, stopped the clock. Clemens had that ball knocked down to the flat by McMillan, and then the Rams chose to keep it on the ground. At that point, Tom Capers said, "Oh, start burning timeouts." 3rd and 12. Rams have to get to the 16-yard line for a first down. Now Clemens is going to work out of the shotgun with 51 seconds left. Play fake. Clemens under pressure. Steps up. Incomplete. Intended receiver, Stedman Bailey. And the clock is going to stop at 46. And Johnny Hekker is going to have to punt out of his end zone.
And the Rams play right into the hands of what the Green Bay Packers wanted. And you can see Coach McCarthy and his coaching staff over there, how adamant they are about the field position. But Clemens here, pressure from the Packers. He has to step up. And he makes an errant throw there to Stedman Bailey on the outside. Not a good start for Clemens just coming in off the bench. Not the start that he wants.
Second 3 and out for the Rams. Johnny Hekker's first punt was 55. Micah Hyde is set to return. This one's got good hang time. Hyde's going to wait under it and field it at the 44. Makes one man miss. Hyde has room across midfield, across the 45-yard line, with a flag all the way back, though, on the 7-yard line.
Got holding. It's got to be holding over there on the outside on the gunner position. It's some form of holding.
35 seconds left.
Ineligible downfield on the offense, number 51. Penalty force at the end of the run, first down.
Will Witherspoon, veteran in his 12th year, flag for that one.
This has been a common theme right now for the Rams. Is penalties here, penalty there, penalty here, penalty there. Gives the Green Bay Packers an opportunity for better field position. And what I said, Packers want to get in position to try to get 3 points on the board, and the Rams are helping with that.
Well, they are pretty much in field goal range. Granted, long field goal range, not exactly in any way a chip shot. Mason Crosby 2 for 9, 49 and longer last year. So
cover 2.
A couple of more yards. Cover 2. Rams conservative as Harrell works out of the shotgun. And he's got Alex Green now, 3rd year back out of Hawaii, in the backfield. He goes to the flat. This one, though, to the seam. Caught the tight end, DJ Williams. He gets close to first down yardage. The whistle at the 28, time 24, as the Rams try to hold him up. Timeout taken by Green Bay.
So the Packers have thrown the ball. Jermichael Finley catches.
They're using all their timeout, or rather all their tight ends, yeah.
Brandon Bostic with catches. I mean, their tight ends have gotten off. And they're missing Jordy Nelson and they're missing Cobb. So it's
using the tight ends and using James Jones early. Guys, Jeff Fisher, and gals for that matter, and the 2013 Rams on Tuesday, September 3rd, asked you to join them for the kickoff for charity luncheon benefiting the United Way of Greater St. Louis. stlouisrams.com for more information. Come on down and join them. Let's see what Tim Walton has on his card here. 22 seconds left, Torrey, and they are now clearly in Mason Crosby field goal range despite his troubles a year ago.
Yeah, they want to hold them from getting 7 points. They can live going in at the half with just 3 here. They don't want to allow them to get 7.
White and Gillett to the right for Graham Harrell on first down. To the left, that's going to be a throw to the right to the tight end there, DJ Williams. He's trying to get to the outside and out of bounds, and he does. He's out of bounds on the 22. Quentin Pointer shoved him out.
Just a quick throw to DJ Williams there in the flat, almost like you can look at it as a little quick bubble screen. Sure. Just get it in his hands, pick up some yards, and get out of bounds and save the clock.
And they're on the 21 now with 17 seconds remaining. Green Bay still has 1 timeout. The Rams have all 3. As the Packers face a 2nd and 3.
The Packers are showcasing their depth right now on the perimeter.
And with that timeout, have a chance to work the middle of the field.
False start by Bakatari.
False start.
Bakatari.
Your left tackle.
5-yard penalty is still 2nd down. There'll be no 10-second runoff as the game clock was stopped. 2nd down.
Mike Carey, efficient and to the point.
Yes,
gotta love Mike Carey. He calls it well. He explains it well.
Yes, he does. A veteran, and right there you see Bakatari just getting off a little too fast there. Like the quickness, and I love the footwork by the big man.
Rivers against Bakhtiari there, who's working as a rookie at left tackle. Brian Balaga injured a couple of weeks ago. Play fake to Green. Harrell's going to take a shot at the end zone down the right side and over the head of Gillett. Incomplete with 13 seconds left.
Nothing there. Good coverage on the back end by the Rams secondary. There was Jamon Johnson over there along with Matt Daniels.
There's Giorgio Tavecchio also warming up, the left-handed kicker, rather the left-footed. I'm sure he's left-handed as well. He's a left-footed kicker. All right, 13 seconds remaining. Green Bay still does have that 1 timeout. Assume on 3rd down they want to save that timeout to stop the clock for the kicker. So they can work the middle of the field, or Torrey, they can take a shot at the end zone on 3rd down like they did there on 2nd.
Absolutely.
See what they do. 13-6 left. Harrell to the left. Throws. Complete. That's White at the 20. White's not going to get out of bounds. Going to get wrestled down with 5 left. McLeod brought him down. And now the timeout with 4 left. And here come the special teams, you would think, for the Packers.
McLeod's been having a good half thus far. Is off to a good start. Terrible job there by number 19, Miles White, by not getting out of bounds on that play. And a good job by the Rams by keeping him in bounds. That's going to be something that the Green Bay Packers coaching staff is going to talk to Miles White about quickly. Get the football, get out of bounds, save us some clock so we can handle our business and try to get a field goal.
All right, so it's 4th down. They're going to put a couple of seconds back on the clock. Mike McCarthy now has 6 seconds on the clock. And Tavecchio, the rookie out of Cal who missed his earlier attempt, is going to come out and try to make this a 9-0 game. Giorgio Tavecchio might be my new favorite name as a Sicilian.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Say it again.
Tavecchio.
Tavecchio.
A 38-yard attempt for the lefty. Tavecchio with the punter master to hold. The kick is up and the kick is good. So it is 9-0. The Rams will head to the locker room trailing by 3 field goals. They've kept him out of the end zone, Torrey.
Yes, they have.
But their offense, albeit moving down the field a little bit, not been able to get in there.
Yeah, they're not. The Packers have had big chunks of yardage. Got to credit the Rams for holding them out of the end zone.
Hey, check out the line here. Jumping over the line.
Oh,
Mason Brodine there.
It's Is that legal? Can they? I thought they were trying to cut that out.
It's legal when it's not called, Tori.
That's so. Okay.
Anything's legal when it's not called.
I'm just looking for some consistency here. That's all.
That's a heck of a jump there by Brodine, I'll tell you that.
Right. You know, my brother was notorious for that. In college, he would dive right over the middle of the center, right in the middle, and block field goals like it was nothing. Using that move right there.
Well, look at it again. Mason Brodine is 6'7" and 284.
Let's check it out.
Number 96.
What do you think about a 42-inch vertical?
Matt Conrad went up too, but it's just a boring ho-hum leap from 2 feet. That's pretty impressive. Benny Cunningham set to return here for the Rams. Not exactly your prototypical return man, and he's not going to get a shot here as this one is popped up into the air. And that's going to be it for the first half. As Mike McNeil catches and runs out of bounds. However, there is a flag down, so we are not done yet. It has been a penalty-filled first half. And a first half in which the Rams have been shut out.
Yes. And they can't feel good about the chunk of yardage that they gave up on defense.
The kicking team is declined. Half is over.
But they can be excited about holding the Packers to only three points. Well, to 9 points, all in field goals, and then nothing really other than Chris Gibbons on the action 8, Derek Richardson on the bullet pick route there. Nothing really offensively. Something that they're going to address here at halftime. They got to come out and get more production.
These two teams combined for over 10 penalties, double-digit penalties. Rams head of the locker room trailing 9-0 at the Edward Jones Dome with a half of football to go. Nothing tonight's preseason telecast of the Rams Broadcasting Network, brought to you by Edward Jones. Edward Jones making sense of investing. Time to go down to the sideline. Martin Kilcoyne with the man in charge.
All right, and here with the head coach, Jeff Fisher. Jeff, you got some of your playmakers involved on offense in that first half. Weren't able to score points. What'd you like in the half? What didn't you like?
Well, we could have scored points. You know, we didn't get touchdowns, but I opted to go for it on 4th down and then went for it again. And so, you know, we had field goal shots there. But that's what preseason's about. What I liked was the big plays. You know, I mean, Sam's throwing the ball well. He's accurate. With the one exception, he's killing himself because he missed Tavon there for the touchdown. But, you know, that was good defensively. You know, we tightened up, but we missed too many tackles. And, you know, Aaron was going no huddle, and, you know, we hadn't really prepared for all that stuff. But I want to see him play. Now, they need to go make some plays. A couple penalties, you know, that hurt us in a couple key situations. I want to see him convert 3rd downs, and we're going to go back to Isaiah for another series, and we'll look at the young backs.
You have your young players in the second half. Still want to try and go out and win the game, obviously.
Yeah, we're going to try to win this game. Oh, you bet. Yeah, we just finished talking about that.
All right, thank you. That's head coach Jeff Fisher. Guys, back to you.
All right, Martin, thank you. That is FaceTime brought to you by Edward Jones. Edward Jones making sense of investing. He said Isaiah Pede's going to get another crack at it as well. We'll likely see Kellen Clemens, I'm guessing, to start the 3rd quarter. Went for it a couple of times on 4th down, came away with nothing. Here's Benny Cunningham set to return. Takes it 8 yards deep and then has second thoughts. 9-0. Rams trailing the Packers. Tori, what do you want to see here in the second half?
More plays, more big plays, like Coach Fisher mentioned. Big chunks and consistency. Longer drives, converting on 3rd downs. And again, more importantly, putting some points up on the board.
As he noted, those first 2 drives, they went for it on 4th down, including once inside the 5, turned it over on downs twice. Kellen Clemens is out for another series here, his 3rd. He's going to keep it on the ground. Isaiah Pede, who we just heard Jeff Fisher say is going to get another crack at it. He gets 6 on 1st down. Pede had 9 carries, 14 yards toward in the first half. He looked good early, had that 11-yard run, but not much to show for it.
Yeah, he did look good early, and he did a good job there on the long ball to Chris Gibbons in the pass pro. There were some questions about the Rams in the pass pro since Steven Jackson's departure to Atlanta. Can these guys step up in pass pro? And they've shown that, and that's a good start by the offensive line, pushing off and getting 6 yards there on the first run.
And getting it across the 25. Stedman Bailey, the rookie out of West Virginia, is in motion, but it's the 2nd-year back, Isaiah Pede, who gets his 2nd consecutive carry and gets maybe a yard to bring up 3rd and around 4, less than a minute here into the 3rd quarter.
2 consecutive runs there, Isaiah P, to get the third down to be manageable. And here we are, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. Manageable down right here with Clemens, and he has to execute here.
Your
3rd down.
1st and 10 marker brought to you by Plaza Motors, the luxury automotive destination of the St. Louis Rams. Brian Quick is into the game on 3rd and 4. He's lined up wide to the left. Heed will stay in the backfield. Stedman Bailey also on the field. Look to the right, ball knocked up in the air, and that ball is intercepted. The Rams give it away. Jarrett Bush with the pick.
Jarrett Bush, one of the Packers' big-time special teams players, coming up with a big play here defensively. Looked like he tried to go to the guy in the slot on a post route.
Johnny Jolly got a hand
And
on.
defensive lineman doing a good job of getting their hands up. You can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up. That's what he did, cause a deflection for the Packers interception.
John E. Jolly, out of the NFL for 3 years, back in the league. Only his 2nd game since 2009. Now Vince Young is in at quarterback. Vince Young in his 2nd game as a Green Bay Packer, signed a couple of weeks ago, the number 3 overall pick back in 2006. 5 years for Jeff Fisher. Vince Young to throw, and he's got a loft, end zone, over the head and incomplete. He had Miles White.
Cover 2. There's a lot of area there in the middle of the football field. The Packers have been exploiting the middle of the football field all game. That was a situation here. As we take a look replay, Vince Young stares right down the middle of the football field. Wait for the receiver, Miles White, to clear through the zone, just overthrown.
Alex Green is the tailback. They go I formation here on 2nd down for the 29. The handoff is to Green. Little cutback. Nice little move. Alex Green across the 20. Down to the 20, or rather down to the 16-yard line. At a 1st down into the red zone. The tackle by Cody Davis.
Nice change up there by the Packers. And good surge by the Packers offensive line. Good blocks. Everybody getting their man. And good read by Alex Green there for the rush.
McGee also there. Davis and McGee brought him down. And they get to the 16. Stretch to the left. Nowhere to run for Green this time. Lost maybe a yard.
Better pursuit there by the Rams there. Got off the line of scrimmage. Better on that run play. Was able to hold him to little or nothing.
Mason Brodine there. You saw him end of the 2nd quarter on special teams. Leap over the Green Bay offensive line. Defense coordinator Tim Walton looking on as his defense now 2nd and 11. Clock winding under 12:30 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and Vince Young is in the game. Yet to complete a pass. Alex Green next to him. Play clock down to 3, now 2. Gets it off, looks to the left, now throws, fade, White again, back corner of the end zone. He has it, is he in? Incomplete, out of the back of the end zone.
Man-to-man matchup. Was a nice corner route here versus Quentin Porter, and he beats him. This ball was just thrown a little bit a little long. Couldn't get his entire body in there in the end zone, but a decent route. Got to do a little better job with his body control and trying to stay in bounds on that.
Vince put his hands up, but White couldn't get that knee in. That knee hit on the back line. Pointer never really turned around, but there wasn't a lot of contact, so the flag did not come out. Now it's 3rd down. Rams blitz off the edge. Young throws right.
Nice play.
White has it at the 12. That's not going to be enough for a 1st down. They brought the pressure. Matt Daniels, Cody Davis there for the 10.
Nice play. You bring pressure off the edge. You know you have to come down. You got one-on-one, man-to-man guy there in the slot, and comes down and makes a sure tackle to hold the Packers to an opportunity for 3 points. Once again, the Rams giving up chunks, giving up big plays, but standing strong down in the red zone, just holding the Packers to 3.
And now Mason Crosby's out for the 30-yard field goal try. This would make it 12-0. Rams bring the pressure on 3rd down and force Vince Young and the Packers off the field. Crosby's kick is blocked, but it is still good.
Cody Davis showing up in practice, making plays, showing up out here in the game making plays.
Even when you make a play, sometimes it doesn't go your way. Davis got a hand on it, but look at Crosby. He snuck it over. It's 12-0. The Packers' night. Cody Davis gets a hand on a Mason Crosby field goal from 30 yards, and it still goes in 12-0. Rams Broadcasting Network would like to welcome all the affiliates joining us for this evening's game. Tonight's broadcast is being seen across 5 states, and we'd like to give a special thanks to all our viewers on Fox KRBK in Springfield, Missouri. Martin Kilcoyne down to the sideline. Rams legend Torrey Holt. Marshall Faulk has the week off. I'm Andrew Siciliano. Thank you so much for joining us today as we're here at the Edward Jones Dome in the home preseason opener. Rams trailing 12-0. Benny Cunningham, all the way back of the end zone, will field out of bounds, taking a relevant knee, and it is a touchback. 11:23 remaining here in the third quarter. Kellen Clemens coming out before we see him. Let's check into the conversation happening on Twitter. Tweet the booth. Torrey said earlier, tweet. Brought to you by Edward Jones, making sense of investing. As you can see the tweets on your screen there, know that you too can join this conversation. You can tweet the booth. Hashtag
hit us up. Y'all hit us up.
Rams. You can, tweet Big Game 81 in the booth too if you want. Why not?
I'm loaded and ready to go.
From the 20, Clemens to throw, and he's going to go down. Sacked by Andy Malumba.
And it looks like he beat Chris Williams here, who's now moved over to right tackle. Looks like he beats him here on this play, but he had Quick coming open on a drag route who he was looking for. He was going to get the ball to. Williams got to do a better job holding up, give Clemens time to get the ball off.
And it is a loss of 6, so it's 2nd and 16. Rams have to get to the 30 for a first down. Showing blitz again. Francois showing blitz. Play fake. Straight drop. Steps up. Tries to avoid the rush. Being chased. Dumps it off over the middle. Cunningham incomplete. Left his feet. Couldn't get it on the 20.
Packers are pinning their ears back and really coming after the Rams. And back to Chris Williams, who's working really hard here on this possession, but he's also competing with Shelley Smith as well for that left guard starting spot. But he's also showing some versatility where he can move outside and play some right tackle. Good hustle there, but the Rams offensive line has to do a better job giving Clemens time to find his receivers.
Chris Williams, a former first-round pick of the Bears, has played all 4 offensive line positions other than center as it's 3rd down and Clemens. Brian Quick across the 30. He has first down yardage.
The last 2 weeks, Brian Quick has showed steady growth. I've watched him in practice get better at his technique, get better with his depth. And here he is on the outside, and he'll come in the screen here on a dig route. And with his big body and his frame, these routes are really good for him because he's a huge target, and he can go up and get the football.
And it's good for 20, and the Rams convert on 3rd down. They get to the 35-yard line. They keep it on the ground with Benny Cunningham. Jack Stacy did not dress.
Look at Benny.
He's trying to get up. There's a whistle. You hear the Rams screaming no. They say, though, that he was down on the 35.
And they want to continue to get more production out of Quick. You got Givens who's stepping up and showing what he's worth and what he can do. Here we take a look at the replay again.
See if he was down.
Cunningham showing good toughness and good balance.
Yeah, he was down.
Yeah, he was down. Here's a better view. Here's a better view here.
Let's see. Where's the...
Now, Benny wasn't down.
Ooh, right knee.
I think they missed that one.
That right knee was close, but they blew it dead. No challenge.
Safety
Here's the
down.
Snap from the 35. Throw to the outside.
Nice.
It's complete. It's your tight end, Mike McNeil. Going to be shy of the first down, bring it up 3rd and short.
Show some elusiveness there on the run, the big tight end.
Gain of 7.
Here they ball pressure off the edges. Clemens clearly knows that's a hot read. Good job by the tight end getting his head around. He got it to him, made a guy miss and picked up some good yards. Really good play, good execution by the Rams in their offense.
Broke the tackle of Jamari Lattimore, the 3rd-year linebacker. So now it is a 3rd and 2 for the Rams. Cunningham is going to stay in there. Benny Cunningham, 2 carries, officially -1 yards. He would need 2 if he got the carry here.
Got what he wants.
They
Got
get
man.
the first down.
Got man across the board, Andrew.
Let's see what he does. Clemens to throw. Clemens guns to the right over the head of Brian Quick. Incomplete, 4th down.
You have man situation on the outside. You can't ask for anything better than that as an offense, particularly at the receivers and quarterbacks. Complete the throws. Execute the routes. Complete the throws. Good opportunity there in man coverage. He saw it at the line of scrimmage. That was the reason why he made the check. He made a check.
Is that the throw you want, though, on 3rd and 2 if you're checking?
Absolutely. That's their check. It's a quick 9-stop, about 5 or 6 yards, 9-stop. It's a routine play that they regularly run in practice. They just didn't complete it. It's didn't execute it.
Here's Hecker's punt. Franklin will let it bounce on the 15. Rams will let it bounce. They hit it. Packer?
Yes, it did.
They fall on it on the 10.
Sure did. That's the break.
Football.
There's the break that they needed somewhere. They got it on special teams.
Let's see who it hit. Didn't hit Franklin. Hit Jarrett Bush. No, 34. Beg your pardon. Hit Brandon Smith.
Brandon Smith. Get out of the way, Brandon Smith.
And then Jonathan Stewart falls on it.
Get out of the way. Totally remove yourself from the play if that ball is live. Get out of the way. And the punt returner has to do a better job of Peter, hot, making sure everybody is clear of the ball. Great play by the Rams.
All right, so the Rams get a chance here. They get to the 10-yard line. It is 1st and goal on the 10. Need to get into the end zone. Stedman Bailey, rookie wideout from West Virginia to the left. It's going to be the handoff to Benny Cunningham, putting his head down, finding some room, and pushing across the 5, down to the 4 for a gain of 6 on 1st and goal.
Good run, good vision, good cuts by Benny Cunningham. I will give it to him once again, Andrew. I will send a message to my offensive line. Come off here in the red zone, and we're going to run this ball in for a touchdown.
And Benny Cunningham played just 5 games as a senior in Middle Tennessee before tearing his patella in October. In those 5 games, he scored 11 touchdowns. So he certainly has a nose for the end zone.
And they've been raving over this guy here in training camp.
Bailey in motion, they're going to run. Ooh,
right.
Nowhere to go. Francois nailed him, pushed him back, maybe a loss of 1.
Nice play. Good surge by Francois. To bring Benny Cunningham down.
All right, 3rd and goal as we look at the replay.
Just a simple power play there, looks like. And good job by Francois, closing down on the backside and making the play.
All right, Rams are in the Dr. Pepper red zone. The red zone brought to you by Dr. Pepper, always one of a kind. And it's 3rd and goal. Got to get to the end zone out of the shotgun. Cunningham is going to run and flank wide to the right. Quick is on that side as well. McNeil, Bailey, Veltung, throw. Picked off by Johnny Jolly. Of all people in traffic.
Johnny Jolly with the deflection. And now the interception.
Johnny Jolly out of the NFL for 3 years, back in the league and killing a Rams drive there. Rams get in the red zone and again come away with nothing. McNeil, the intended receiver. It's 12-0. Twice the Rams have driven inside the Green Bay 5-yard line, and twice they have turned it over and come away with nothing. The first one, a turnover on downs in the first quarter on a box center exchange, and the second one, an interception by the big man, if you can believe that, Johnny Jolly, back in the NFL. And we're back to action as Vince Young hands off to Alex Green. Alex Green brought down by Josh Cole. All right, let's go down to the sideline now. Time for Edward Jones and FaceTime, making sense of investing. Martin Kilcoyne.
All right, Andrew, thanks very much. The Rams tight end, Jared Cook. We talked before the game and said, any nerves because it's your dome debut. Now that you played the half, how did it go?
It went decent. I think offensively we could have picked up a lot more yards and maybe scored some points, but it's stepping stones.
And after last week, people were wondering, are they hiding him for the regular season? That wasn't the plan, was it?
Not at all. It just so happens that's how it worked out.
And with Coach Fisher tonight, it's clear in the preseason he's going to have some fun and go for it on 4th down instead of chip shot field goals.
Yeah, I mean, you got to try it out now. You won't try that in the regular season when it's a different type of game in different situations. But now, it's good to try that stuff and get it in and get it out.
How quickly have you been able to acclimate to this offense and get in sync with Sam Bradford in your first year here?
It's going pretty well. I've been told that I pick it up a lot faster than most people. It's a lot that goes in. There's a lot of little things that you have to concentrate on, but so far it's going pretty good.
All right, thanks, sir, very much. That's Jared Cook. Guys, back to you.
All right, Martin, thank you. Jared, thank you. Third down here. Young to White had a completion. Second down, now 3rd and 3. Gonna throw. That ball's knocked away, Torrey. Intended receiver White. Rams with double coverage. And it's 4th down.
Good defense by the Rams. Turnover down here in the red zone. And then they come back and get off the field on 3rd downs.
Pointer and Hall there with the double coverage of Miles White. Rams D first 3rd and out, or beg your pardon, first 3 and out.
And Vince Young stared that receiver down. If you saw how the safety moved and got over as quickly as he did, he stared that route down. Really good play by the Rams secondary.
All right, Taven Austin done as a punt returner. Justin Veltung, who we saw a little bit last week, is back to return. Veltung out of Idaho has some speed. Fields at the 37, works to the left, tries to get a block. He gets it 45, midfield 50, angling to the sideline and brought down across the 45, 44-yard line. You saw Bones Fossil, the Rams special teams coach, throwing his hands up right there in front of the play. He almost broke it. 47-yard punt, 18-yard return. Rams though good field position when we get back. Rams down 12-0 here. 5:06 remaining, 3rd quarter at the Edward Jones Dome. Time to take a look at the Buffalo Wild Wings news and notes from around the National Football League. Buffalo Wild Wings, the home of the Jeff Fisher Show, the Creve Coeur location. Eddie Royal, scary today. Carted off the field in practice in San Diego. They say he has a bruised lung, which is also what Markevius Mingo had last week in the Rams loss in Cleveland. He was released from the hospital.
That's good.
And the Bears also released defensive end Jamal Anderson.
Get well, Eddie.
The Mingo injury, beg your pardon, was actually a couple of nights ago in the Cleveland game at home.
Glad to see he's doing
against the Lions. Good to see him doing well. Benny Cunningham is the running back, and he'll take the carry from Kellen Clemens, and he's going to get pushed back to the 45. It's a loss of 2. Robert Francois. Tackle your guys.
Francois.
And Malumbo.
He's stepping up and making some plays for this Packers defense.
And Malumba as well. Andy Malumba, the rookie linebacker. So the Rams, Torrey, have now run 17 plays in Green Bay territory. And as they lose a couple of yards on that one, they only have 19 total yards on those 17 plays. So they have not done much when they have crossed midfield twice inside the 5. They have given it away once, a turnover on downs with Bradford. The other time is Clemens is hit as he throws and hit low. Kellen gets up at the 45. Good to see. Nate Palmer was there, incomplete.
Yeah, they're really having their way. Packers front is with this Rams offensive line, and again putting pressure on Kelly Clemens, which is allowing him, making him get the ball out quicker, but he's not getting it out with any accuracy.
Palmer blew right by Brandon Washington there.
And no quarterback can operate under these kind of circumstances. The Tom Brady's of the world, Aaron Rodgers, no quarterback can operate under these circumstances.
Clemens now facing a 3rd and 12. Needs to get to the 33. Deep drop, under pressure again, flushed out to the right. Gonna have to throw on the move. He's at midfield, throws across his body, up into the air and incomplete. Veltung was at the 20.
Got a flag.
And a flag is down on the far sideline right in front of Aaron Rodgers after Clemens threw it.
Illegal formation, offense number 19. The penalties decline, brings up 4th down.
Wouldn't have counted anyway.
Clemens is running for his life. And these are your 2s and some of your 3s, and they're being evaluated. Now all the players are being evaluated. But it's hard to evaluate your skill position and even your quarterback with all the pressure that he's getting. He's not getting an opportunity to sit back there, step and drive and read and throw that football. He's under a lot of duress. Hard to evaluate.
4th punt of the night for Johnny Hecker. His long was 55. He's averaging 51. Franklin back to return for Green Bay. He's going to let it bounce at the 5.
Good hustle.
They get it? I think they did. Touchback. Not beg your pardon. Down to the 1. Colby Prince was down there. Great job by the Rams special teams. Really? Down to the 1. So, long field. Head of the Packers. Special teams make a play, down 12-0. Rams can't get on the board, trailing 4:02 remaining third quarter, 12-0. Good job there, Zach Potter, down again on the 1. So Vince Young, after the Rams make a play on special teams off the Hecker punt, long field. And they're going to hand it off to James Starks, who spins out of the end zone barely and gets back to the 1.
You can clearly see after last week's performance there with Benjamin on the punt return versus the Rams, you can clearly see that they made some adjustments special teams wise. It was something that they talk about. Good push here by the Rams defensive line. Almost a safety. Good push there by that defensive line.
Al Lapuaho almost brought him down. Lapuaho had a tackle last week. Rookie undrafted free agent out of Utah State.
Has played well this quarter.
Crowd's making some noise here under 3:30 remaining in the third. 2nd and 10 again from the 1. Vince play fake, throws, and it's caught. Not bad. Alex Gillett rolling to the ground, and he is down on the 10 on 2nd down. It's a gain of around 9 and brings up 3rd and 1.
Here we go, just one-on-one on the outside. Confrontation there, a little bit of hold, a little bit of pushing.
Against Darren Woodward.
Because Darren Woodward, he just hung in there a little longer and fought and was able to come up with that completion. Alex Gillett had 3 receptions for 21 yards last week, and they go to him again here.
Gillett comes through, and now he is wide to the right, and it is 3rd and 1. See if the Rams defense can do something here. Young fakes the handoff, now rolls out to the left. He has room to run if he wants to. He will, and he will run for first down yardage across the 15 and out of bounds on the 17-yard line. Vince Young with a gain of 7.
Well, we know Vince
flag down.
No, Vince can run.
Flag down to the far side, Torrey, 30-yard line, in front of the Packer bench.
Holding.
Well, downfield, might be.
Well, illegal contact.
Could call defensive holding there too.
Let's see what they come up with here.
Holding, defense number 35 from the end of the run, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And it's Woodard down there, the guy we saw on 2nd down against Miles White.
Yeah, and you can't do that. You're going to get called for that.
Come on,
every time.
Wait a minute. I know you're the receiver there, but isn't that a little ticky-tack?
You can't pass 5 yards. You can't. It's not a lot of touching and grabbing. They're not allowing it.
You're being a receiver here, Torrey. That's what you're being. You're being a receiver. James Starks play fake. Vince Young under pressure throws out, and it is complete. Complete to, can't see there. Complete to Jake Stoneburner, his tight end. So Vince Young was under pressure. Ray Armstrong, good to see him getting some time here, a linebacker in the 2nd half.
Play action fake. Nice boot here. Put on the Rams. Have seen that time after time after time. And they've made their appropriate adjustments. And now playing the play action boot a lot better than what they were doing in the first half.
All right, 2nd down. Seen a lot of Vince Young here. Hasn't had much luck through the air. He's made some plays with his legs. There's a completion to Boston.
Well, he said he's
for Vince Young.
He's been playing a lot of catch up since joining the Packers, and has been able to get some type of rhythm and learn the playbook. And he's coming out so far, and he's managing pretty well.
Hey, say what you want. Vince Young might not be the most orthodox of passers, I guess you would say. Does it somewhat unconventionally at times. He is 31-19, however, as a starter, Torrey, in the National Football League, and wins. If you want to look at quarterback victories, granted it is a team game, wins are something you can hang your hat on. Here he's got a 3rd and 1, play clock down to 5. Starks is next to him. Let's see if they get this off. Play clock at 2, 1, 0, right at 0, under pressure, throws right side and throws incomplete over the head of Gillett, which brings up a 4th down. Ray Armstrong in the backfield.
Good pressure. We'll see here the replay by Ray Armstrong right here off the edge.
Unblocked. Starks came over to pick him up, and he went over him.
But what I like is, if you can't get to him, Andrew, get your hands up. You know, take away his vision, and that's what you saw, right? And you see Coach Jerry Bush right here talking to Ray. Good job. You couldn't get to him, but you got your hands up, and you caused the play not to happen.
Ray Armstrong playing linebacker for the first time in his career, a collegiate safety. Here's the punt back to Veltung, who backpedals and fields at the 14, running to the left, almost busted one last time, hit by the turf monster, stays on his feet, and gets to the 23. That's where the Rams will start. 23-yard line after the 56-yard punt. Trailing 12-0. Final minute, third quarter. Rams trailing 12-0 late third quarter. Time to find out what's up, what's going on at Rams training camp. Tonight's camp report brought to you by 7-Up 10. Full flavor, only 10 calories. Martin Kilcoyne.
Andrew, the Rams getting healthy on both sides of the ball. This week, both Jermel Cujo, defensive tackle, and tight end Lance Kendrick able to come back from the PUP, the physically unable to perform list, so that's good news. Also, the governor, Jay Nixon, was at Monday's practice, and then on Tuesday, the owner, Stan Kroenke, also in Earth City, which cleared up a lot of confusion because some of the rookies on Monday were asking when they saw the governor, is that our owner? No, that's the governor. And the next day, Mr. Kroenke himself made sure there was no confusion.
It was a busy week there. Thank you, Martin. As Kellen Clemens throws deep, wants Brian Quick down the left sideline, almost picked off. Wasn't picked off. Should have been picked off, but it was not. Down there was Chaz Powell, the intended receiver, Brian Quick.
Good range by Chaz Powell. The ball floated a little long there on Quick. Quick did a good job of running past Nixon here, but a little bit too much air under that ball. And Quick wanted to stop and attempt and go up for it. No, I don't know if that was a pass interference. He wanted to stop and go up for that ball, but too much air under it to allow the safety to get over and make a play.
Man, as a former receiver, Tor, I don't know. Before you thought that was holding, and there you didn't think that was
I thought
PI.
that was good. That was a good competitive play there. It was competed at.
All right. Play fake. Clemens goes down. Nowhere to run. Down to the 15. Hyde and Palmer are there.
It doesn't matter really who comes open for the St. Louis Rams, because Kellen Clemens is not getting an opportunity to throw the football. But the pressure that they're bringing, Green Bay Packers, he can't get an opportunity to throw.
Yeah, bringing a DB here late in the third quarter, still bringing pressure against Kellen Clemens, and he had nowhere to go. Rams still have 15 minutes to go, trailing 12-0. It is a field goal game, end of 3. Start of the fourth quarter, Rams down 12-0. Time to take you inside the huddle, brought to you by Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Inside the huddles where the fans get to ask Torrey a question. Roll it.
Hi, Steve Hazeltine, St. Louis, Missouri. Hey, Torrey, one-on-one with Cortland Finnegan. Who wins the matchup?
We'll get that answer after this play. Steve, we'll get you an answer. Torrey, Cortland Finnegan, one-on-one. What's it going to be? What is this?
Shaking him in boots.
This is a 3rd and 18.
Jeez.
The Rams will run.
Draw.
Benji Cunningham on the draw across the 30. He's close to first down yardage. He may have gotten 17 of that 18 back. Benny Cunningham. I think he is a yard shy, and he is.
Packers played off in a zone and played it safe, and the Rams just ran a quick little hit and draw, and he almost picked up the full first down there. Good run by Benny.
You want to answer the question?
I will. I got a lot of respect for Cortland Finnegan. He's a tough, scrappy guy, but he can't guard me. Not at all.
Now, again, like in our pregame, is this Torrey Holt when you were playing?
No, this is Torrey Holt.
This is now Torrey Holt.
No, this is Torrey Holt.
This is just Torrey Holt.
At any time.
Like Torrey Holt on Madden Torrey Holt.
Yeah.
That kind of Torrey Holt.
Exactly.
Okay, Brett there is back to punt. This is Franklin, who doesn't go fair catch. He's going to field and go nowhere. Good coverage by the Rams. 25-yard line after the Hecker punt of 43. 12-0. The day is done for starters like Cortland Finnegan. The night is not done, however, for the Rams in general, and they trail here 12-0 with 13:56 remaining. Here in the fourth quarter, the Edward Jones Dome. Torrey Holt, Rams legend. Martin Kilcoyne down at the sideline. I'm Andrew Siciliano, and we have a new quarterback. B.J. Coleman is the QB, 6'3", 231 out of Tennessee, Chattanooga, 2 for 7 last week as the Packers lost at home to the Arizona Cardinals. So Vince Young is done, Aaron Rodgers is done, and James Starks is in the backfield to the offset eye. Here as Coleman will hand it to him. Stretch to the left. Nice running lane for Starks. Cuts it up across the 30. He gets 7. By the way, you mentioned before that you could be Cortland Finnegan. All right, I want to play something for you.
I'm gonna go Torrey. I mean, he's Hall of Fame, man. He's done so much for the game and the receiver position, and even out here, he can still get it done. So you know what? I don't want to say it's Torrey, but you know what? Gotta give credit where credit is due. Much respect. So Torrey Holt will definitely win.
How about that, Torrey? We gave Cortland Finnegan a chance to talk a little. Mr. Smackham as Starks busted to the outside, trying to get to the corner. And he's not going to get there. Ball comes out. That's the far side. Yes. Rams say they have it. And they don't. The official on the far side is still pointing Green Bay's way, which means that ball probably went out of bounds. Darren Bates was over there. Take a look, Torrey.
Wow, here it is.
Rashard Hall, I think, ripped it out. No.
Ball's out.
Drew Thomas ripped it out. And then Bates tries to get it. Tough to tell from that angle. Looked like he was out of bounds.
Tough, very tough. Was it?
We might have a challenge.
There you go, Coach.
All right. I think we have our first challenge of the night. Does Bates have the recovery on the far sideline? The challenge when we get back. All right, in the regular season, I'm not sure if this would be a good challenge by Jeff Fisher. In the preseason, it can't hurt to try. Yeah. You get the mechanism down, Torrey. You learn how, as a coaching staff, you want to do these things. Ruling on the field is Darren Bates did not get this ball inbounds. Let's take a look. James Starks, running right, got stood up. The ruling is Bates was out of bounds. Now, Drew Thomas, number 41, is going to come up, the rookie out of UTEP, and he's going to rip it away.
Right.
Ray hit him as well. Now, here comes Bates. Watch the left foot. Right there, he's out of bounds. He jumps from out of bounds. He lands inbounds, but he jumped from out of bounds.
Yeah. And that's where the controversy, I guess, will come in. Is
ruling on the field again. Out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Green Bay ball. Have to see enough to overturn it. Mike Carey's one of the best in the business. He has made his decision.
And he needs to practice too. He does.
After review, the offense fumbled the ball. Number 53, the defense stepped out of bounds before he recovered it inbounds, making the ball out of bounds at that spot. The ruling on the field is confirmed. Second down.
So they got it right.
They got it right.
Rams are charged to timeout. Jeff Fisher tried. You can't fault him for trying.
And like I said, the refs need the work too. This is what preseason is all about. Going to have different challenges come up.
He's still arguing his case here to Mike Carey. He's not going to let this one go.
Well, Coach Fisher's trying to get that ball again down here in the red zone because he wants that offense to get back out there.
Sure.
Because he wants some points up on the board.
And that's another reason to challenge it. Both men laughing there, Jeff Fisher and Mike Carey.
And Coach Fisher serves on the competition committee, I think. So he kind of knows what's going on with these rules, what you can and cannot do.
It is fair to say that no head coach in the NFL understands the intricacies of the rule book better than Jeff Fisher.
That's right.
It is third down, third and around 6 here. Let's call it. Need to get to 35. It's B.J. Coleman in the game at quarterback now. Third quarterback we have seen tonight. Blitz picked up. He steps up, throws, and fires complete across the 40-yard line. That is Walker, Tyrone Walker with the catch and a first down.
Here it is. You have one-on-one up top. Here he just pushes him off, runs a 9-stop, what we call it, about 8 to 9, 10 yards, sinks his hip and does a good job of coming back and extending himself to catch the ball. A lot of competition on that play. The receiver won though.
Gain of 15 against Robert Steeples. Local boy coming back home. Here's Coleman to the outside. That one's caught again by Gillett. Across midfield, Cody Davis is there. Time to look at the stats through 3 quarters. Brought to you by your quality Ford dealers, with the Rams trailing 12-0. Green Bay winning on the ground, 82-45. Green Bay winning through the air as well, adding 8 more on that last play. And here with a 2nd and 2. Rams have had their chances tonight, but unable to score. and unable to do anything inside the red zone. Green Bay on 3rd down, 4 out of 13. Let's see what Coleman does. He goes deep for Gillett. Incomplete. Rams had him bracketed. It's 3rd down coming up.
B.J. Coleman has established a pretty decent rhythm, taking what the defense is giving him and completing the balls. A little overthrown there, but you know, these are guys that are, you know, fighting for positions on their respective rosters. So
and with Vince Young here, Coleman is certainly
I like the
fighting
competition
for his job. He could be the odd man out, as a couple of weeks back they brought Vince Young in. So Gillett now top of your screen in motion. This is 3rd down. Alex Green leaks out, throw to the left. That's caught by Miles White at the 38.
Good catch by Miles White.
Thomas there on the coverage
Got
across the 40. It's a 1st down, but there's a flag down in the offensive backfield. Looks like it's against the Rams. Coleman says the Packers will turn it down.
Good catch with good body control by Miles White to come down with that catch.
3 catches, 15 yards before that one. Let's see if it stands.
Illegal hands to the face. Defense number 89 is declined. The play results in a 1st down. Please put 11:44 on the game clock. 11:44 on the game clock, please.
You know, the 99 Rivers, not 89 Jared Cook. That would have been a story.
You know, Andrew, these guys out here on the field now.
Bottom of your screen. Right there.
Yeah,
pushing
right,
towards
yeah.
the quarterback.
Yeah.
And it's a new set of downs, 38. Mike McCarthy, top of the screen, far sideline, wants to take a timeout. So Green Bay will burn its first timeout with 11:44 remaining. Call the offense over. 12-0. See if the Rams can do something here in the 4th quarter. Corey Holt is on it on the scoreboard here. The Rams trail the Packers 12-0, 11:44 remaining in the 4th quarter. Saturday, September 7th. Help the Rams get back to football with a 5K run finishing on the field right here at the Edward Jones Dome. The event is also going to include an NFL Play 60 half-mile run for kids. A portion of the proceeds benefit the United Way of Greater St. Louis. stlouisrams.com, please, for more information. Back to action. 1st down and a flag down. Alex Green runs.
Flag early.
Flag early, right at the snap, Torrey. And he gets maybe 2 yards. Bates down on 1 knee. He's slow to get up. Now he pops up, number 53.
Been a lot of flags this game.
There are a lot of flags.
Shift. Offense, 2 men moving before the snap and not getting reset. 5-yard penalty is declined. 2nd and 10.
Illegal formation. We've seen that called on the Rams a couple of times.
Yeah.
Now that one is called on the Packers. Jeff Fisher says no, that came out of a timeout as well. Mike McCarthy had wanted to talk things over, and his team couldn't get lined up straight after it.
Definitely be something that both coaches to talk to their teams about next week is the penalties. The Rams talked about special teams and wanting to improve. They did that, I think, this game. Penalties, not so good.
Rams, by our count, have 7 penalties. Here's the delay to Green, tripped up, and another flag is down in the backfield as Green gets to the 32.
Holding. Offense number 65. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
I think the refs are getting their practice in, too, in terms of how they're throwing that flag.
You got to work the arm out. Lane Taylor, the rookie offensive lineman, called for holding there. Your total penalty numbers 12 between the two teams, although honestly that number is somewhat surprising. Kind of feels like 15 or more, doesn't it?
It really does. I mean, it's been a lot of yellow flags today.
This one's worth 10, and it backs them up to the 48. A lot of those penalties have been declined, hence the number. Coleman steps up, incomplete.
A little bit behind him, but they're not.
Omaris Hines, the intended receiver.
But they're not making it tough for B.J. Coleman. He has the ability. He has a clear pocket, a lot of clear lanes to throw the football. And on the other side for the Rams, Clemens has been running for his life. I would like to see the Rams defensive line pin their ears back. Guys want to make the team by making a play.
And this is the part of the game, Torrey, we say it all the time, where if you're not going to make this team, whether it's the Rams or the Packers, this is on tape.
Yes.
This is the part of the game where you can shine. And here it's 3rd and 20. They're going to set up the screen. Green catches. He's midfield. 45, near side 40, has blockers. 35. He's going to get about 15 of it back, but not the 20 that Green Bay needed. Alex Green is a guy also putting stuff on tape. He, though, is a heck of a football player. We've seen him make some plays. Cody Davis there.
Good hands. And not only is, this footage being seen on tape by various coaches and GMs across the league, there are GMs and other representatives from teams in the National Football League here that's here today.
Watching a 4th and 6 right now.
So you want to make a squad, make some plays.
Here they are, 28-yard line. Shotgun got to get to the 28.
Too early.
And there's pass interference. So it's going to be a first down. Darren Woodard, who was flagged earlier. You didn't like that hold call. Is going to get flagged again as well. The receiver, Gillett.
Pass interference. Defense number 35 at the spot of the foul. Automatic.
Woodard,
and that one's going to be accepted.
Woodard he's been fairly aggressive on the outside all day. And
that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. He's been caught quite a few times. Just overly aggressive and at times, sometimes unnecessary contact.
Well, when you're trying to make the team, as you said, Darren Woodard, rookie out of UTEP, you are going to be aggressive. You do know people are watching. This is the part of the game where people pile on as well. B.J. Coleman throws high over the head of Hines and incomplete. Threw one behind Hines, and that one threw it over his head. Hall there.
And I will have to say, these guys, they are competing on the outside. That was one-on-one play action fake, a quick slant there, good defense by the Rams. A little high, but at times receivers have to go up and make those difficult catches. Got to make the quarterback look good.
Darren Bates is down. We saw about 5-6 plays ago before the timeout. He took a knee after a play, was slow to get up, but did eventually get back onto his feet and stay in the game. And here, Darren Bates is down yet again. He had 4 tackles last week, the undrafted rookie free agent out of Auburn, with his helmet off and being helped up. Hey, join Rams linebacker James Laurinaitis and some of his teammates Monday, September 9th for the Make-A-Wish Celebrity Server Night of Wishes dinner. For more information on how you can help the Rams make wishes come true, please call 314-205-9474, extension 224, or visit mo.wish.org. Again, mo.wish.org.
Laurinaitis and other guys on the football team do an outstanding job. Rams organization, period, do an outstanding job of getting out and being active in the community for various causes. And it starts with the head man and Jeff Fisher.
Laurinaitis there on the sideline. Darren Bates also on the sideline. He walked off under his own power, takes a seat on the bench. Coleman to throw on second down, guns over the middle. That one's caught by Miles White. Inside the 10, down to the 9. First and goal for the Packers, 12-0.
Yeah, it's Imano right now on the outside and on the offensive line, and the Packers right now are doing a decent job of winning those individual battles. But Darren Bates, man, the undrafted guy from Auburn that we just saw walked off, led Auburn with 94 tackles last season.
Exactly. One of 3 rookie free agents out of Auburn. Takes a seat on the bench. Hopefully he's okay. Get an update for you later.
Some contact.
Alex Green nowhere to go. Hit in the backfield 3 times. Mason Brodine, who's been active all over the field today, leads the charge.
And he was active last week. Andrew, I think he had 3 total tackles last week. So a guy that's continually to put some good film out there, showing versatility on a lot of plays. But most importantly, he's making plays.
Saw some action last year. A couple of games for Mason Brodine. Spent time on the Rams practice squad after some time on the Raiders practice squad. It's 2nd and goal. They're on the 9.
Pressure off the edge.
Coleman flushed out, under pressure, flings into the end zone. That ball is caught for the touchdown. He hung on. Jake Stoneburner.
B.J. Coleman showing some elusiveness, some athleticism in the pocket, throwing a dart for a touchdown.
Jake Stoneburner got both feet down. We had Ray Armstrong out there on him.
Yeah, good concentration by Stoneburner.
Catch, 1, 2. And then he brought that ball back to the pylon.
The awareness, Andrew, on that play. Really good awareness there on that play. And then Coleman with excitement. And he should be.
All scoring plays are reviewed.
I like it, Coleman. It's always good to see excitement and energy and passion when guys display that. It means they love and care about what they're doing out on the football field.
And this one is reviewed for a touchdown. Mason Crosby's point after is good. And the Rams are in danger of getting shut out. 12 plays, 75 yards, led by B.J. Coleman. It's a 19-0 game, 8:46 in the fourth. Jeff Fisher said he wanted to see a little more from his team tonight, wanted to see fundamentals, wanted to see a cut down in penalties, wanted to see touchdowns, not field goals. That has not happened tonight. The Rams trail the Packers 19-0. 8:46 remaining in the fourth quarter. Raymond Radway had a touchdown last week on a busted play. A connection with Kellen Clemens in Cleveland in the second half is back to return. Seven-time Pro Bowler Torrey Holt to my right. Martin Kilcoyne down at the sideline. I'm Andrew Siciliano. Radway 8 yards deep brings it out. 5, 10, 15, 20, 24-yard line. Brought down by Angelo Pease.
Good job of hitting him in there, Radway.
Austin Davis coming in at quarterback for the Rams. He is third tonight in the rotation. Austin Davis was second a week ago when he went 9 of 16 for 96 yards in Cleveland. He was active week 1 last year. Never did get in. Last year in the preseason, however, Torrey Marshall and I liked what we saw. 22 of 34 in the preseason. Remember, he broke every one of Brett Favre's records at Southern Miss, made this team as an undrafted free agent a year ago, and here he throws to Torrey Holt or Cameron Graham.
So you can?
Across
good catch
the 35 to the 36.
Good run, good catch and run. Davis comes out, immediately plants his feet, delivers a nice ball to Graham. Graham catches and turns up. That's the start that you want to get off to, Davis.
Torrey, we had fun at this last week with Marshall in the booth. That is not obviously Torrey Holt. This one's knocked down, intended for Cunningham. All right, FaceTime now. Martin Kilcoyne down to the sideline of the man on that defense.
All right, thank you, Andrew. Here with Robert Quinn, the Rams defensive end. He was in that Packers backfield tonight. What do you take out of tonight's game?
We're definitely a talented team. Some of the easy stuff, tackling and basic fundamentals are basically. I think we need to take a better approach to that, or just concentrate on those things more, and have a better performance.
Is missed tackling something you can fix in practice?
Definitely. I mean, it's just putting your eyes in the right place. Breaking down, squaring up, whatever it might be, wrapping up. That's the main thing. We had them, or we hit them, and I think we just didn't wrap up. But that's quite easy to fix.
Picked up the sack tonight. Obviously, that doesn't count towards the season, but always good to get in the practice of taking down the quarterback.
Oh, definitely. Like you said, it's preseason, but it still felt good. Now, like you said, hopefully just keep it rolling in the regular season. Try to see what happens.
All right, your third year in St. Louis. What is your expectation, and does it feel different from the last 2 summers?
Of course, I'm older now. I've been here, like I said, my third year. I'm a lot more comfortable, with the NFL speed. I don't want to fall short. I just want to see the team do great and go as far as we can with whatever happens.
All right, Robert, we appreciate the time. Even Torrey can appreciate a Tar Heel getting it done in the NFL.
As long as he's getting sacks and he's very disruptive, I can dig it.
He can dig it. That's FaceTime brought to you by Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Brett Baer with the punt as the Rams behind Austin Davis have to give it up 3 and out. Omaris Hines brings it back to the 29. Hey, our next telecast for the Rams Broadcasting Network is not going to be next week against the Broncos. It's actually back here against the Ravens at the Edward Jones Dome on Thursday, August 29 at 7 o'clock. The world champions coming to town. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. on Fox Sports Midwest with Rams countdown to kickoff. Everyone else will see the pregame show at 6:30 p.m. and then kickoff is at 7 p.m. Next week, a nationally televised game as the Rams head to Denver to take on Peyton Manning and the Broncos. The third game always the dress rehearsal, if you will. And the Rams should certainly be tested against a team many think has a heck of a shot, Torrey, at the Super Bowl in the AFC. Play fake to Angelo Pease. He's in the game now. Throw to the outside. And that is Hines, the man who fielded the punt with the catch. Andre Martin with the tackle.
Ozzie Newsome just continues to put together and draft and bring in really good football players that fit what they like to do offensively and defensively. In Baltimore, they have a chance of getting back, and I always give that nod to the defendant, to the champs, to somebody who throws.
You know what? The Rams, you could argue here, face 3 teams that are legitimate Super Bowl contenders. Ball bobbled in the backfield by Pease. He's going to back up, lose a couple of yards. Ray Armstrong, who's been all over the field. Gable there as well in the backfield. You could say here 3 would-be Super Bowl contenders in the Packers, the Broncos, and then the Ravens. Now, granted, the 4th preseason game isn't as competitive traditionally as your 3rd. The Ravens were here last year to wrap up the 2012 preseason. Many of their starters did not play that night, but still, you line up, you play, you try to make some plays, and you try to end the preseason on a good note.
And you're playing against 3 really good coach football team.
Coleman hit as he throws. That ball is loose. There is no whistle. It's picked up by the Rams, and now we have a whistle. There was no whistle when that ball came out of B.J. Coleman's hands. Ray Armstrong is there.
Looks like the Revs are they're ready to go too.
So Ray hit Coleman as he threw. It is an incompletion. I think that's the right call.
Okay.
But there was no whistle at first.
Yeah, wake up. Where's the refs at? They're ready to go too.
Ray Armstrong's getting good pressure. He is all over the field. Tori. Here's an undrafted rookie free agent that has made a lot of plays.
Former safety, very athletic kid. They've been raving about this young man all throughout training camp. He's stepping in and showing plays. And Coach Fisher said he wanted to see Ray play on special teams.
And Nick Johnson on special teams.
And he wanted to see what he does when he goes on to the defensive side of the ball. And he's stepping up.
Nick Johnson, who we featured in the pregame, a high school track coach in his free time, gets a couple of yards and brings it out to the 36. And we will get a second series here for Austin Davis. Yes, Chase Reynolds in the backfield. And also on the field, as you see Nick Johnson, number 14, Andrew Helmick from Lindenwood.
The hometown boy.
From Kansas City, played at Lindenwood, basically broke every record at Lindenwood. He is wearing number 84. Said he had 15 or 20 friends and family in the stands. Here's Davis throwing, boundary, wanted Johnson, incomplete. He was double covered near midfield.
Yeah, that buzzing underneath those 9 stops, that's a patented route that the Rams like to run. Coach Shoddy likes to call those, and Green Bay is doing a good job of trying to run out underneath those. That's good film study by the Packers and well executed by the defense.
5:52 remaining as you see offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer on the left, Jeff Fisher clearly there on the right. 19-0. Rams don't want to get shut out certainly here today. Out of the shotgun, Austin Davis crosses over the middle. There's Helmick, and he has room across midfield. 40, cuts back at the 35.
Nice.
First down, big catch and run by Andrew Helmick with the family here. It's good for 30.
That was a nice underneath crossing route. As we'll take a look here, comes across on the crosser and catches it, and then shows his burst and shows his speed and run after the catch ability.
Helmick made some nice plays in camp a couple of weeks ago, bothered by a hamstring, now back on the field as Chase Reynolds gets the carry for about a yard over right side. And Helmick and Reynolds, Nick Johnson, who else is in here for the Rams as they go deep offensively. You also have number 17, Demetrius Fields, in at wide receiver. He's flanked wide to the left. So the 3rd, the 4th team in here as Jeff Fisher empties his bench. Davis pressured, and he's going to go down on the 43-yard line. Austin Davis sacked by Gilbert Pena. No, number 93, I beg your pardon, Josh Boyd, not 63, 93.
Yeah, just collapse. The Packers is just come in, get the ball out as well, Davis. I would like to see him go ahead and release that ball down the football field. Packers just collapse in the pocket.
And the Rams
There they
back
go
up,
again.
and he's under pressure again. Austin Davis has a motor. He can run. Tried to pump fake it at the 40. Nowhere to go. Got some of the yardage back. He's back across the 40 to the 39-yard line.
And Austin Davis is doing the best he can to avoid the pressure as he shows some athleticism again here. Was able to slip out. But the Green Bay Packers have just made the St. Louis Rams quarterback very uncomfortable here in the second half. Haven't been able to do a little bit of nothing.
It's fourth down, Torrey. Offense got to stay on the field as we saw in the first half. Here in the fourth quarter, they will do the same. There's the Helmick family on the Jumbotron. They're cheering. 4th and 14. As Davis takes a deep drop, steps up, under pressure, throws across his body, and that one is hitting the turf at the 20. Incomplete. He wanted Helmick again, and the Rams will turn it over on downs, but there is a flag. It's holding against the Rams.
It declined. 69. Ball goes over on downs. First down.
All right.
You know, not the effort that the Rams wanted to show being back home in their first preseason games with the penalties and the pressure that they're allowing Green Bay to put on the quarterback. Good play by Hyde. I mean,
Hyde's got a lot of snaps.
He's got a lot of snaps
deep into the fourth quarter,
and he's made a lot of plays. A guy that's taken advantage of his opportunity. And I mentioned earlier, he was the Big Ten's defensive back of the year. This kid can play football.
All right, let's see what Green Bay does with 3:34 remaining. You would assume they'd keep it on the ground. Each team with a couple of timeouts here, 19-0. At the Edward Jones Dome, fourth quarter. That is what they do. Running left.
Good play. Good
That's
play.
Angelo Peace and Gerald Rivers,
Like
Cody Davis there to string it out.
Like what Gerald Rivers did right there. Maintain the outside, maintain outside, stretching that play, and then it's allowing that defense to flow and come down and make a play. Gerald Rivers has done pretty well this game.
He actually has, and he showed up last week as well. Gerald Rivers, an undrafted free agent out of Ole Miss. He did not play last year. Academic issues, taking a year off, and he has. And we saw him early in the first quarter as well, Tori. Number 99, Gerald Rivers. You know, the Rams are deep on the defensive line, but he has made some plays today. And if it isn't for this team, might be for someone else. Incomplete to the right side. Hines, the intended receiver.
And you need guys on your team, particularly on the ends, that can get to the quarterback. And in this division, NFC West, with Colin Kaepernick and Russell Wilson, now Carson Palmer, you know, these some legitimate quarterbacks in this division. You got to have some guys that can get after them. And it's always good to have depth, particularly on the front line on both sides of the ball.
As you have your front line starters there, Long and Laurinaitis watching from the sideline. 2:42 remaining. The clock stopped on that incompletion. 3rd and 15. Need to get to the 48-yard line. Coleman's going to work out of the shotgun.
Hands up.
Coleman's going to dump it off to Pease. And he got hopped by Ray Armstrong.
There is our guy, Ray.
You just love the name. I love saying the name.
But I like the way that he plays football.
And remember, Tori, he was a safety, had never played linebacker until a week ago.
From the University of Miami, and the game is not too big for him. He loves competition, and he feels, and I'm speculating, he feels that he goes about his business as if he's a starter. That's what I like.
Ray played 30 games at safety at Miami, ended up at NAIA Faulkner U in Alabama. He sat out. He never really did play there, and now he's converting to linebacker.
Yeah, good player. Loves football, good intensity, good energy, makes plays. And I'll say it again, the Rams coaching staff and the buzz around the Rams training camp about Ray Armstrong has been really good, and he is delivering.
You know, Ray had the coverage on that Stoneburner touchdown. It wasn't bad coverage. Stoneburner just made a great play, then brought that ball back to the pylon. Nick Johnson is back to return. There's almost blocked by Fields. There's a flag down. Johnson calls for the fair catch. Doesn't get much room, but fields it on one knee at the 21-yard line. Let's wait on that flag. It's back on the 35, near side of the field. Mike Carey, your thoughts? I'm pointing both ways, Mike.
Illegal formation on the offense, 6 men on the line of scrimmage. That 5-yard penalty placed at the end of the run, first down.
All right.
These refs have been active tonight, too.
Well, you know, Demetrius Fields almost got there, too. The rookie, undrafted free agent wide receiver out of Northwestern. He's got good size.
Yeah, good slip. Nice slip.
Could have had that one.
Yeah, nice
Could have had
slip.
that one. Fields just a hair under 6'1", 208, stretched out, couldn't take it.
The Rams special teams have made their adjustments. They made their adjustments
Cover
this
teams
week.
been better
yeah,
as well
their cover
today.
teams have been really good today.
All right, Terrence Ganaway's into the game at tailback. Austin Davis throws over the middle. Nick Johnson the catch. He's got first down yardage gain for 12 of 13, just shy of the 40-yard line as the Rams now go hurry up as we come up on the 2-minute warning. Almost there. 2:10 left on the clock. Quick snap from Davis. Looks to the right. Nick Johnson again. Caught. Ball out. Are they going to roll incomplete? They are. Said Nick Johnson never had it. Clock stops at 2:04.
Yeah, as he was putting it away,
Sam Barrington
there.
popped it.
Yeah.
So get a chance to see Austin Davis in the hurry-up offense, and he excelled.
Go just running just a little short little dig there. Ball, that's a ball that he can catch and secure.
Never had it.
Along with taking the blow.
There's Nick Johnson lined up wide left.
There he is again on a dig.
And there's Johnson again. Catches across midfield. That's going to take us to the 2-minute warning, and it's going to take the Rams into Green Bay territory across midfield. Let's see what they can do here with the final minute 57. When we get back, they're on the Packer 42-yard line, trying to avoid the shutout, 19-0. Tonight's game of the Rams Broadcasting Network brought to you by Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Also brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, 40 locations, always your best choice for quality and expert auto service. By your quality Ford dealers as well. And by a reminder from Budweiser, great times are waiting. Designate a driver. See if the Rams can designate a drive into the end zone here. Down 19-0, $1:57 remaining. Austin Davis, your third team quarterback tonight, in working the 2-minute offense here for the Rams out of the shotgun. He gets hit as he throws, and he throws left, and he throws complete. That looks to be a first down.
And
it is. Davis got popped as it's caught out there by Emory Blake, the son of former NFL quarterback Jeff Blake.
He did take a shot there, but delivered a strike over to Emory Blake. And those are those 9 stops that Coach Schotty likes to throw.
Clock winds at 1:34. Davis again under pressure. Can't get rid of it. Flag on the far sideline, though, as Davis goes down. Jarvis Reed there to bring him down, but the clock is going to stop as there's a flag on the 27.
Holding defense number 58.
Automatic first down.
5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
With 1:27 remaining. So the Rams are now going to take it inside the Green Bay 30-yard line. Rams trying to avoid being shut out in the preseason for the first time, Torrey, since, want to guess? They have not been shut out in the preseason since?
I don't know.
1978.
Wow.
How old were you?
I was 2 years old.
How about that? I was 4. Austin Davis looking end zone, throwing incomplete. Just shy of the end zone. Potter, the intended receiver.
And I was just about to say, they either got to take
Prince, I beg your pardon.
They either got to take a shot at the end zone, or they got to get something quick hitting on the outside to try to preserve some of this clock.
All right, so second down, 1:22. If you look at the timeouts, top of your screen there, under the score, the Rams have 2. The Packers also have 2. There's Raymond Radway. Had a touchdown last week.
He got one-on-one.
78 yards.
One-on-one across the board.
53-yarder. Radway, bottom of your screen. Davis looks that way, throws instead to Helmick, and he catches and gets out of bounds.
Good job. I like that. An out-breaking route, something towards the sidelines, something quick.
Andrew Helmick out of Lindenwood there. Tackled by Micah Hyde.
Nice.
So 1:17, that's not enough for a first down, Torrey. So it's going to be third down just shy of the 20. Need to make the 16 for a new set of downs.
And what I like about this, too, is we get an opportunity to see guys execute and operate when they're tired. And that's what we're seeing right here with the Rams as well as the Packers.
Lutz and Kirk in the tight end. He had a nice catch last week. He has his hand down to the right. Davis throws. Radway cannot hang on. He would have had the first down. Clock stops, and it brings up fourth.
Radway last week, critical situation, had a long ball dropped on
Down the left
outside
sideline. Yep.
And here he is again here, a crosser.
Put it in
and another
belly.
drop.
Yep. Kind of low, but he went down to get it. Could have caught it. Would have been a first down. So 113. This is fourth down here for the Rams. Ganaway's in the backfield.
Pressure.
Davis. Incomplete. Flag down.
There it is.
Intended receiver Fields on the far sideline. Brandon Smith, I think, who's chirping's going to get flagged for PI.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact, a lot of holding going on over there.
I'm hearing in my ear that might have been an NBA-style flop. You want to see this again?
Here we go. One-on-one.
Top of your screen.
Not bad there. Little grab there. Just a slight
Holding
grab.
Defense number 34. From the previous spot, 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
And Fields worked the refs for it, too. And he also, he extended that right arm.
He did.
He tried to get underneath him.
Yeah, he got away with it, but normally they always catch the second guy.
Of course they do.
Always catch the second guy. So young people, if you're listening out there, if you're still listening, they always catch the second guy.
Lessons from Torrey Holt, one to grow on with 1:09 remaining in the fourth quarter. So here we go, first down now for the Rams. They're on the 17. The crowd, those who remain to see all four quarters, making a little noise here. Pre-snap whistle.
False start.
Offense number 73, 5-yard penalty, still first.
And they are going to back up again. Back them up 5 yards. Graham Pochik.
Yeah, and we met with Coach Fisher on Friday. And we simply asked him, what are the things that you want to correct? Penalties and special teams. They are not cleaning up the penalties. He's got to be fuming right now with all of these penalties. And this is something that they stress and something that they've talked about.
These two teams have combined for 15 accepted penalties.
Pressure.
Davis pressured.
Wow,
Hit as he
shot.
throws. Incomplete at the 10. He got drilled. Fields the intended receiver. 1:04 remaining. Here's the pressure.
Brought pressure from the back of Terrell Manning. Micah Hyde once again making plays, and big shot on Davis.
Micah Hyde, he's there. Also there, the linebacker Terrell Manning, as you mentioned, number 56.
NC State guy too, Terrell Manning.
2nd and 15. Rams trying to get in the end zone. 1:04 remaining. Backed up after the penalty to the 22. Pressured again.
Got him.
Made. Left side.
Touchdown.
Caught. Touchdown. Nick Johnson and the Rams will not be shut out tonight.
There we go. There we go. Oh, Nick, man. Nice play. It's a big play for Nick. Looked like a simple go route there on the outside. Good pickup by Ganaway, I think that is. And then a nice toss by Davis. And a good job by Nick Johnson. One-on-ones on the outside. A little stuttering go. Nice route by Nick Johnson there. Selling the stop. And then look at Austin Davis. Yes. I mean, getting beat up. Yes.
21-yard touchdown to the Rams. Avoid a preseason shutout. Would have been their first since 1978. Nick Johnson into the end zone. 19-7. 59 seconds left on the clock. Austin Davis leads a touchdown drive, as we saw him, Torrey, do last year. This kid's gritty. He comes in with the third-string offensive line. He's under pressure.
Yes.
And he can make plays when he's moving out of the pocket. This one, the blitz, as you noted, picked up. Johnson got behind Smith. It caps off a 74-yard drive. But whether he's in the pocket or he's on the move, sometimes you feel he's more comfortable on the move.
Yeah, and he throws a really good ball on the move, and he's very athletic. But I love seeing the quarterback stand in the pocket, stare down the barrel, take a shot like he did the previous play, come back, stare down the barrel again, make a nice throw out to Nick Johnson. He earned that touchdown Davis it is. He took some blows in that drive.
Absolutely.
But showed some grit and some toughness. Nick Johnson, good job on the route, the stuttering goal, the patience, getting the full depth, selling that for a touchdown. That was very well executed play and a good pickup by Ganaway, I think that was on the blitz.
Nick Johnson we saw last year, and here we're going to see Brett Baer try the onside kick, Torrey. But Green Bay is going to call timeout. Hey, you want to practice everything. We saw the onside kick team last week as well. Mike McCarthy is going to burn his second timeout. He's going to have one remaining. And I know some people say it's only 59 seconds. The Rams still need 2 scores. They are down 12. But you play these situations to see how these players upon whom you're making decisions, about whom you're making decisions, how they can react in these situations. You have your second string kicker in here. You see what he can do. He's not going to beat out Greg Zuerlein, but you want to see how the rest of the unit does.
Absolutely, and you want to get this play on tape too, so you can have it on film and you can evaluate it, and it's a real live situation. And a good timeout, looked like the timeout by the Packers here was to get different personnel on the football field so they can give themselves a good chance to execute this play. But you want to get this tape, you want to get this play here on film so you can use it as a coaching tool as well.
You saw John Fossil there, Rams special teams coach, Bones as we call him.
Oh, he went the other side with it.
Fake left, go right, and it's not going to work. Jake Stoneburner had the touchdown earlier, is going to fall out on the 45-yard line. So Green Bay gets it, and with 59 seconds left, will likely just run out the clock. But they faked it left, went right.
Yeah. Overload to the left and came back right. If he could have got one more bounce there, possibility the Rams could have recovered it. But good job by
Stoneburner, who had the touchdown earlier.
Had the touchdown earlier and
fell on that one.
Fell on that one there.
Right to him as Bear went lefty.
He's had a good game.
Yes. Packers deep at tight end, certainly. Andrew Corliss didn't even play today, number 81. So they are deep at tight end as they are going to take a knee here. And this one's going to be a 19-7 final score. Tonight's player of the game is brought to you by Edward Jones. Edward Jones making sense of investing. And there he is, Torrey, your guy. Say his name one more time.
Ray Armstrong, ladies and gentlemen.
Player of the game. And he was all over the field.
He was. There he is, showing some pressure, getting his hands up, being disruptive. Here he is again, showing some pressure, slipping. Pressure again, just showing some athleticism, and then coming down. Coming down and striking. That's what I like by Ray Armstrong.
He got in the backfield, as you saw. He made plays in space. He also had, as we saw, decent coverage on that Stoneburner touchdown. Stoneburner just made a great play. All right, so there's a knee.
He's earning himself a position there. Earning himself a spot on this roster.
Rams had their chances early. Went for it on 4th down a couple of times. Come away with nothing. They got a touchdown here late in the 4th quarter. And they fall 19-7 to fall to 0-2 in the preseason. You see Jeff Fisher there and Mike McCarthy shaking hands as well with Aaron Rodgers. Jeff Fisher walks to the tunnel. A 19-7 final here at the Edward Jones Dome. Coming back to wrap it up after this on the Rams Broadcasting Network.